I'm muted and muted. It ain't nobody but the devil. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Black Men Unfiltered, or the Black Men Unfiltered Network. Y'all know what day it is. It is Talk Tuesday. I feel like you guys been with me all day. I did a show earlier today. We're going to allude to that a little bit before the show starts to get you guys warmed up for the show tonight. But before we do that, I want to call some people's names that are in the chat that always keep coming back. All right, we got to take heed to the damn message in the chat. She said, hello, sir. Good evening. Take heed to the message. If you have not subscribed to Take Heed to the Message, take heed to my message and subscribe. Thank you for being here. Take heed. It's good to see you, Sugarfoot. Also, we got Lost in Translation. You already know he's in the chat and in the back. The boy here ready to cook. So I hope you brought your raw meat with you. Beautifully Animated is in the building tonight. Crazy as hell, but she's all well. The reckless Ray De Niro is in the building tonight. All right, he's ready to put his foot so far up your ass, his ankles is your toothpaste. We got Quincy Friesen in the building tonight. Also a member of the channel. Thank you, Quincy, for being here tonight. Let's see who else we got. We got Von Bryant in the building tonight. Von Bryant says, greeting, peace, joy, and grace. All right, let's see who else we got. We got Luke Hazley in here. Luke Hazley said, looking forward to a great discussion. Thank you so much, Luke Hazley, for being here. I know you get busy, but you could have been anywhere tonight, but you chose to be right here. What We Know podcast, I sent him the link. He should be here momentarily. And so he'll be here on our panel tonight as well. I sent out the link a little late today. I apologize, my brothers and my sisters. Let's see here. Somebody else just sent me something. All right, let's stop sending me stupid stuff. Okay, here we go, guys. So we want to get the show started. I want to bring up everybody here. I got a Cash App right before the show started, so I definitely want to take care of that person and give them a little bit of something before we get started. How about we do not a song, but a special commercial by yours truly, Dr. Umar Johnson. He wants to let you know how many lashes people need today. Here we go.
You fat, bald-headed, no-neck midget. I sentence you to 3,000 lashes for conduct unbecoming a black man.
All right. I'll give you some music. We hadn't seen White Chocolate in a while. White Chocolate, show up, show out. After that, when we come back, everybody will be on the panel. White Chocolate, show up.
Got a red room, it's the red down when the sun sets in my bedroom. Oh, it feels like I'm inside a flower. It feels like I'm inside my eyelid. It feels like I'm inside a flower.
All right, thank you, White Chocolate. Anytime you guys want to hear something great, some music, you want to break in the show, you need us to have a commercial break. You are in control of the commercial breaks. If you do send a Cash App, I will go ahead and stop the show and give you something to groove to as a pause in our show. You'll see the Cash App at the bottom of the screen. All right, you see at the bottom of the screen. If you send a super chat, I'll give you Dr. Umar. If you send a Cash App, I will give you music, something to groove to. All right, thank you guys for being here tonight. All right, so you see who's on the panel tonight. We got the lovely, beautifully animated in the building tonight. All right.
Hello.
Oh shit!
We got Mr. Payne in the building tonight.
Oh shit!
We got Lost in Translation in the building tonight. Come on.
Oh shit!
All right.
Oh shit!
We got Reckless Ray in the building. Man, I thought that was a dildo in your hand until that cat showed up. I am so sorry. We got Reckless in the building. So you know I'm straight people like that. And last but not least, man, we got my boy JT in the building tonight.
Oh shit!
What up? What up? What up, everybody?
Oh shit!
All right, man. It is so good to have y'all here tonight. Let's have this conversation. The conversation tonight is, are women at war with each other over modesty and accountability? But before we start there, I had a little show today. Anybody on the chat, anybody in the chat, did you get a chance to see the show today?
I saw a little.
Yeah, I caught
I
the
just
tail
finished
end.
watching it, Black Man. I was on my way from work, so I was watching. I said, "Did you see my my comment?"
I ain't seen it yet. What you say? What you say?
So somebody that got the beast mad. They done unleashed the beast.
Yeah, man. I was talking to my brother Sir Hale today, and we talk from time to time about everything, because me and him started out together. And Sir Hale sent me a video. He said, "Man, did you know you had another viral video, bro?" I said, "No, I didn't know that." He sent it to me, and it had 4 million views. Now, listen, I didn't pay attention.
Which one was it?
The video that was talking about. I'll play it for you. This was the video that I played this morning for everybody. That started out that conversation. Here we go. It's a big ass beard you got over there, bro. Damn. Google that shit. They just changed the definition.
What difference do it make to you? You've been calling women
No.
females all night.
No. What I'm saying is you should be offended. As a woman, you should be offended. You got to go through menopause, hot flashes. You got to go through a period every month. You got to go through all the stresses of being a woman, getting up every morning, putting a bra on, your back cramping, where my heating pad is from a period. And then you got a man over here with a whole dress and a fucking wig on that's saying, I'm a woman and you a cis woman. All you are is a carrier, because that's what the fuck they're saying about you right now. You're just a carrier. That's the video right there, sir. And I did a.
They're right. I am a carrier. I'm a carrier of this can of whoop ass.
Yeah. and I did a show on that. So guys, if you didn't get a chance to see that after the show tonight,
I saw that.
Yeah, go over and watch my show from earlier today. Your boy went in, and Luke Hazley said, yes, no wonder it went viral. Absolutely. Let's see who is in the chat. We got some new people in the chat tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We got Casey Mo. That's my boy. All right.
Yes,
I adopted him because that's reckless, brother. Ashton Williams, he said BMU, JT, and Payne. What else he said here? Let's see. All of the same channel. Damn, I've been MIA, huh? Absolutely, you have. We got Quincy in the building. We got Cody is king. All right, just bonus holes. Wow.
Wow.
I remember that.
Now, I want to say something, guys. That is a true statement that came out yesterday, or day before yesterday, when they said women are just, carriers are just bonus holes. That's what they call you.
Jesus.
Beautifully animated.
Lord
But let me tell you how this started. When black women, I'm talking about our women, when black women start accepting it and saying, yes, bitch, and letting them wear their clothes and their shoes and their hair, you open Pandora's box, because now they're not saying, yeah, bitch. They're saying, bye, bitch. I want your man. I want your children. I want your job. The world is conforming to me. I wish a person would tell me no when I'm gay. I'll destroy this whole company. And that's what's happening right now. And they have the power to do it. Let me tell you why. There's a guy on Instagram right now. His followers are blowing up every day. And he says, I'm going to pretend to be gay, and I'm going to go to places I know I can't go, and I'm going to see if they let me in. He'll walk up to him and say, I'm walking there. Say, no, sir. He'll say, so gay people can't come in here? You go ahead, sir. You're okay. He just walks around the city and does it all day to show people, if you say you're gay, you can do anyway. You can do anything. So that guy is, he's proven a huge point. However, watch that show, guys. We're not here for that, but I want to discuss with you guys a little bit about that Pandora's box. That's how we're going to warm this thing up tonight. Do you believe that women have opened up Pandora's box when it comes to these type of situations? Where now that we have men and women, we have men becoming women, and they're fighting women, they're wrestling women, they're playing basketball against women, they're swimming against women, and they're dominating women. Right? Girls have been practicing and training for years and years and years. And now they're out there getting beat by 30 seconds, 40 seconds on the track, in the swimming pool. There was a UFC fighter beating the shit out of women. And I want to know what you guys think about that as a warm-up question tonight. What are your thoughts about where the world is going in this situation? We'll start with Beautifully Animated and we'll go around the room.
Oh, I mean, you know why I don't have issues with the whole group or whatever. I have issues with anybody who are extremists. Okay? Because there's plenty of LGBT whatever out there who just live their life without trying to get attention, without trying to change shit. The only thing the regular people wanted were to be able to marry, to be able to unite and take care of their family with their insurance and all that stuff. I had no problem with that, right? The old way, which started, was that you could not change your sex on your driver's license or ID until you had the bottom surgery. What was wrong with that? Nothing. Nothing was wrong with that. They didn't go touching the birth certificates, which are medical and legal documents, medical and government legal documents. So in that sense, the world is going to shit. It's very aggravating. No matter what they do, they would never compete with me. That's what I do know.
Hey, listen, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Beautifully Animated. I remember you were on the show with us that night when Mandrell said this. It sticks with me forever. When Mandrell said, I put up 5 women on the screen. And it was Barbershop. I put up 5 women on the screen. I asked the men, tell me which one are men and which one are women. The men said, dude, you trying to fool us? They're all women. You remember that, JT? I said, no. Those are men, fellas. Mandrell said, hell no. Yes, sir. Mandrell said, dude, whoever is doing these new surgeries with this new technology, they need to tip the doctor. He's doing an absolute wonderful job. They're shaving down the Adam's apple. They're loosening the face, making the face look more younger. They're snatching their waist, giving them breast and ass, and you can't see no scarring anymore because they're using lasers instead of scalpels, and they're getting their stuff removed, flipped back, and put in place, and you can't even tell. But remember back in the 90s, they say, check the throat, bro. Check the throat. Mm-hmm. You can check the throat all you want to. Now it's gone.
Remember what I said, though, black man, on that? I was the only one that said I don't trust it because they got makeup and wigs on. Mm-hmm. I'm not about to trust it at all.
Yep. Mr. Bennett, we waiting on you.
Arpain,
go ahead.
Yeah, listen, first of all, the very first time women didn't stand up and do a BLM type riot was when they bestowed Woman of the Year on Bruce Jenner.
Yep.
Oh, I mean,
that's when there should have been riots in the street by all women, not just black women. All of them.
Bring it back to me when you get a chance, because I wasn't.
Let me just go ahead and do this. It's going to be short. See, I look at the rainbow community as a parasitic entity on the black community.
Damn.
They're parasitic to blacks, meaning that they suck all of the quote unquote benefits.
Pause.
Well, yeah.
They're good at sucking.
They suck all the benefits, if you call them benefits, out of being an oppressed group, but they provide nothing back when it's time to advocate for blacks. Never. You never hear them doing that. So they just take, so when they're so-called minority or oppressed, it was just like black people, blah, blah, blah. They just suck it dry. And black folks, I have to say mostly black women, have been a conduit through which they had a lot of egress or whatever. So that's a big mistake, and it's coming back to haunt all of us. And the last thing is that I believe in this part of the Constitution that all we're owed, no matter who you are, what kind of group you are, is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And the pursuit is the key word, right? And if your pursuit of happiness starts to impair or impact every other group, then that's where we have a major problem. And that's what we're having right now. So I'll just leave it on those three things.
All right, beautiful anime, go ahead and finish yours and we'll move on to JT.
I was strolling through YouTube and I ran to a video. Stop, Ray.
You was just on a walk? Okay.
Yeah, I was just strolling through YouTube, minding my own damn business. And I run into this video where the women are going crazy. They're at a spa. They're in the back locker room, whatever. Got their little girls with them. And there's a trans woman dangling out. Just dangle. Just. And the women are fussing at the counter, saying, y'all need to get this person out. They got their dick out for our children to see. The thing is, no child should know your damn business. If you know that that is not what's supposed to be back there, bitch, you're doing too much.
Damn.
You know me about kids, man. You don't fuck with the kids. And you know what? They're gonna keep on going too far. And then what's left is gonna be just a straight cliff down. It's coming. They don't see it now, but it's coming.
Yeah, they're gonna come whether
Shit's
you
about
want
to
to
go
or not.
down.
I think
Shit's about to
2024
get
is
real
going
and go
to
down.
2024 is going to be a referendum on all of this stuff.
Absolutely. JT, what are your thoughts?
Well, if you've ever seen me on Black Man Unfiltered, when we have these type of conversations, then you would know exactly how I'm feeling about any of these infiltrators. The infiltrators are out here. Black Man Unfiltered had a gang of them coming at the whole network, including myself. They had a whole, they had 4 or 5 shows on us all weekend. And one of the reasons is because we told the truth. One of my things is that I'm not going to sit there and argue with anybody that sit back and call a man a woman a man. I think you're crazy when you do it. When we sit back and we out here arguing over what is and what isn't, this shows you how idiotic the world has become. It shows you how idiotic it is.
Mm-hmm.
But even more than that, yeah, if you guys are paying attention, these young women are getting their ass handed to them in sports. They're getting, even now it's starting to go into the jobs now. It's starting to go into, scholarships. It's a lot of things that's happening, and it comes down because you have a man that's sitting back telling women, I'm a woman. And they're saying, yes. And they would get mad at the ones that say, no, you're not. And they will have a whole crusade against the people that say, no, you're not. A man is a man. A woman is a woman. When they start talking about cis and non-binary and all these different things, we already understand what it is. We understand that they're infiltrating. Period. You ain't gonna never catch me up because, for one, even with the real women, I'm not with it when I see them getting, enhancements in their butts. When they are getting, even when it comes down to putting somebody else's follicles on top of your head. I got a problem with that. I got a problem with a hat on top of a scarf, on top of a hat. I have a problem with it. It's not a problem that I'm going to be sitting back and having this whole podcast and stuff like that. But if you ask me my opinion, I think it looks ugly. I think it looks very ugly when you have eyelashes and coffin nails and you look like a cactus. That's how I look at it. You look just like a cactus. And you got a lot of people that's saying, yes, go ahead, do your thing, go girl. That's the outfit of a hard-headed woman. So you'll never be able to catch me up when it comes down. I don't care, because when it comes down to how these men are looking, ain't it funny now that we have men that act like women, that act like men, that act like women, that act like men, that act like women? That's how confusing it is. That's how confusing it is. To close and land this, bro, I would never, ever approve of any of this at all. And that's it.
All right, man. I appreciate you. Perspective, lost and translation. Give us your thoughts, my buddy.
Black Man Unfiltered. T.D. Jakes had wrote a book a while back called He Motions. And in that book, it said it's real hard being a man. You know what I mean? It's real hard being a man. You know, some people die from it. Some people faint from it. You know what I mean? Some people run from it. Yeah. And you never really see people wanting to be a man. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it speaks to what JT said, man. When I thought about the whole black woman, gay thing, I thought it was a weird and unholy alliance, because anytime black women wanted to degrade a straight black man, they would call him gay. And I always wanted to ask the gay people, how do you feel that someone uses your identity to denigrate someone else? How does that really make you feel? You see what I'm saying? And I always thought that was kind of weird, because the gay guys would turn around and act like black women, and black women would turn around and act like black men. So it was kind of like Inception. You ever seen that movie? Inception was a dream inside of a dream inside of a dream. Well, that's pretty much like that is. And I think what happened was a lot of people started to look down on men as if it meant nothing. So everybody decided, hey, I want to be a woman, because it seems like they get all the benefits and all the grace and all of the, you can do stuff without people really questioning you. So a lot of these other guys and, different people, the alphabet group, decided, you know what, we're going to take advantage of that. You know what I mean? And in essence, they're giving black women and other women a bad name. They're going out there, they're actually not even acting like women. They're acting the caricature of the worst of black women, not even the best of black women. You know what I mean? They putting on all this weird makeup and all these hair wigs and all this other stuff. And it's really bad, because they're taking their brand and running it in the ground. But and I don't understand. You're right. I don't understand why a lot of women don't stand up for that. But I always thought it was a weird alliance between, sisters and the LGBTQ. It was like they were trying to get some kind of power. But normally what happens is, whenever you want power, you would actually do it yourself. You don't elicit the help of other people to get your mission accomplished. You know what I'm saying? If you wanted your own freedom, you would fight for it. But all they did was piggyback off of everybody else's muscle. And now they want to reap the benefits and get more privileges than they deserve. And now it's coming home to haunt them, because now we got sisters acting like the trans folks. You know what I'm saying? And you don't really know what to make of all of this. And it's really embarrassing, because these people are the same skin tone as us, and it's really not our place to say, hey, you know what? Y'all really should do that, because they don't represent us. So why? I mean, what do we say? As men, it was like, hey, you can tone it down. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you don't tell us what to do. You know what? Go ahead, do your thing. and let it do what it do. You know what I mean? So my whole thing is this, and I'll end the plan. Women really need to take back their ethnic image. like Kevin used to say. He talked about that and ran it in the ground. He said, you really need to take back your ethnic image. I remember black man back in the day, there used to be a phrase that I don't hear anymore. They used to be this phrase we used to use all the time in the black community. It used to be called black excellence. It seems like it faded away into obscurity now. And you rarely hear it. It really meant something. You know what I mean? Yeah. And now it's like, does it mean anything anymore? Do we remember what that is? You know, that used to be the best of the best of the best. Yep. And now it's like, you know, people used to say you have to do things 2 times harder, 4 times harder than anybody else. And now it's just like everybody's throwing their hands up and it's like, you know, whatever. So my whole thing is women, y'all really need to, you know, take back your identity, because people are definitely running in the ground. They messing your name up. They messing up your brand. And that's all I got to say.
All right. Last but not least at all, Reckless Ray De Niro. What's going on, my boy?
I'm about to let this breathe for a second, because I want to, for the algorithm in your show, I'm not going to cuss within the first 30 minutes. Those of you who have shows, try not to drop any swear words within the first 30 minutes for the YouTube algorithm. Because I really appreciate the opportunity you've given us all. I appreciate your platform. I appreciate you a lot, my brother. That's the reason every time you reach out and every time I'm available, I'm here.
I appreciate you so much, bro.
But this is an attack on America. Now, I understand that y'all want to, a lot of y'all want to segregate yourselves. A lot of y'all want to be different. But then when you get the segregation you ask for, you get upset. But this is an attack on America. And I'll tell you why. Like, this isn't just affecting one culture. This is affecting the culture. And it's, as much as you guys who want to be super woke, want to not be American, you American, bro. You Africa was never in a pan. There's no Blacklandia. There's no Whitelandia. Everyone who leaves this country and goes anywhere else, and I know most of you haven't left your block, but I'll tell you, everyone who leaves this country and goes anywhere else, you just an American. You ain't even black. You just an American. As soon as you start speaking, there's an air of respect that you get. There's a level of reverence because they know who we are. You're an American. You don't get to be black. I'm sorry. And this is an attack on America because it's filtering through into all aspects of culture. Every last one of them. We're being indoctrinated. They went after the children. And unfortunately, as adults, me personally, I don't have any kids, so I'm a slightly less responsible. But as adults in general, we did not protect these children. Every single thing you're seeing right now is our fault. We did not protect those children. Those children grew up, and now it's been 30 minutes, fucked up. And now they're out here making decisions after we allowed them to be attacked. We didn't talk in. You didn't tap in. Everybody's working, getting to the bag. Everybody's busy. And you've left your children with these people. Who are these people? They're communists. Plain and simple. That's what it is. The communist agenda, the whole CRT that we all want to argue about, they changed the game. The LGBTQ, the identity politics, is communism at the end of the day. Start reading, start educating yourself on what it is. There is an insidious demon that is attacking our culture and ripping it to shreds. All communists do is destroy. Every culture that's adopted this type of rhetoric has been destroyed. And I'll tell you, it's not even cute destruction. It's not, we're fighting out on the streets. You're going to starve to death. Have you guys picked which one of your family members you're eating first because there's no food? Because that's at the end of that road. Have you figured out which one of your family members you're going to turn in so that they can be executed? Or are you going to do it yourself? Because that is down that road. When we see these kids in these white communities that go home and immediately get woke and they go back and they're like, my granddad's a racist. My mom's a racist. My dad's a racist. That's an enemy within a household. And yeah, you can feel good because you think they care about you. They do not care about you. White liberals are the most racist. They like you being a victim. They like to feel better about their shitty lives, looking at your shitty life and telling you that you're a victim so that they can feel good. But you guys are all about that because they're on the team. They're not on the team. The person on the team is the person who's going to tell you to fix your shit. That's who cares about you, whether you like it or not. Beautifully Animated spoke on. Hold on.
Go ahead.
I'm still going. I had to take a breath. I'm sorry. Beautifully Animated spoke on this, on the bottom surgery being okay. It's not okay. None of this shit is okay. Not a lick of it. And it's going to sound insensitive, and it's not going to sound well because it never does when people tell the truth. But doing the bottom surgery, you are lying to someone else. You are committing rape against whatever man puts his stuff in that because he signed up to attempt to procreate with a woman. You are not that. You will never be that. Period. You are lying. Unless you're straightforward off the jump, you are a liar in society. That is not okay. Because the shaming campaign that came along with these new surgeries is if you wouldn't date a person of that community, you're a bigot. You're a transphobe.
Mm-hmm.
Because you want to date women and they're like, oh, well, we're women too. You're not. You're not. JT was talking about the makeup. And I agree with him, but here's the thing. I prefer my predatory animals to be marked just like venomous spiders. I want to know. I want to know your value set as soon as I set eyes on you so that I can know that you don't count as people to me. You are of a different value set than me, and I can steer clear of that. So I don't want y'all to stop wearing them wigs. I don't want you to stop caking on that makeup. I want you to clearly let those of us know who got some sense who not to fuck with. I need to know who the cancer is. I need to know who the problem. I don't want these people. If you in the hood and you on some fuck shit, I want you wearing your pants around your ankles, bro. Like I want you sagging down to your knees. I want you dressed like the idiot that you are. I want to see the cancer so I know. That if stuff pops off, I know who I'm dropping first. I like to see people telegraphing exactly who they are. I prefer that because at the rate that it's going, we don't want everyone infiltrating. I don't want to deal with chameleons. I don't want people pretending to have a certain value set, and then you think they're going to raise your kids right, and they pop off some more of these little demons to go out here and help the communists destroy our country. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is doing. It is another means with which to attack us, and they can galvanize people around it because people get emotional when it's brought up. But the reality of the situation is people within that community, within the letter mafia, do not agree with this shit. They're just trapped because just like within our culture, the loudest voices are the ones at the front, and they ostracize them for just wanting to live their life and do what they want to do. And that's at all facets. So they're not even in control of their own narrative either. Because they go in and police their own. They are functioning exactly like communists in Stalin's Russia. You on the team, but if we hear you saying some dissenting stuff, you got to go to the gulag. And they do it with their own people. The issue that we've had here is, as adults, we have not protected these children. And as men specifically, because this is our responsibility, we are not willing to stand 10 toes down and say, that's not okay. This is not cool. Here is the line. A society that accepts everything, that's literally for those of you who are religious, in the Bible. Do what thou wilt. We are living that right now. Where are the people? The Armenians were the last ones who went to a school board meeting and knocked some people out for trying to press them. Why aren't we doing that? We as men, that's our responsibility to be there. And it's not a matter of you having a child. The issue is if they indoctrinate generations and generations of children, those children become adults and they become voters. They are creating your enemy. That's where the root of this is, and they understood that. That's the reason they take those jobs, because teachers are underpaid. They probably keep it that way for a reason, because only a communist is going to go somewhere where you ain't going to make no money, because they're like, well, eventually we going to go take the money from the people who got the money. But for right now, we're going to get so many people hating this country, hating their families, hating American values, because these are American values. We have so many black people on these panels, and we might not agree on everything, but we do agree at a granular level on some conservative values, period. Like there's certain things, there's certain ways we want our house to run. We always talking about hierarchy. We're no different than the people that we're told we're not supposed to talk to and we're not supposed to vote with. And those conversations need to start happening because those people are Americans too. This is a societal problem. This isn't just our problem. The issue is when white people catch a cold, we get the plague. Here we are. What are we going to do about it, men? When are we standing up? When are we saying enough is enough? Because I've had enough.
All right, man. I appreciate it, man. Hey, listen, man, you know, this show, I just want to say this real quick before we get back to the show. And thank you guys for your perspectives. Amazing. I want to say something. On this show, we have a lot of great people. And I want to continue to have great conversation. Hank, I think Hank, if you put a one in the chat, Hank, if you're ready to come up, if you want to come up. But I want to say that Beautiful Anime has been rocking with me. Arpain, thank you, man. I consider you a part of the family now, man. You've been so supportive, and you come over every Tuesday. JT, man, you come on. You already know a week. Come on. Lost in Translation has been coming on Tuesdays, man. Thank you so much. It must be something good going on for you to be coming, you guys to come over. Reckless just said it, that he enjoys coming over and having these conversations. There's one more guy, two more guys, three more guys. I could just keep naming them. All right, Hank, I'm gonna send you the, hey, JT, send Hank this link for me. You got me? All right, thank you. JT's going to send it to you. And Mr. Bennett is one of the greatest supporters, and he made my heart glad one day when he came up and he said, before we close out, Black Man, it's something I need to say. And he said, Black Man, I feel as if sometimes we have good conversation, bad conversation, some confusing conversations. We bump here. He said, but I feel like this network is doing the Lord's work. And that has stuck with me. That has motivated me as I move forward and continue to do shows and come up with ideas and continue to move forward. Mr. Ben, that has stuck with me on days I say, you know what? I'm just not going to do it anymore. I think about what you said and it encourages me. So thank you, Mr. Bennett, for being here tonight. I appreciate you so much, man, for coming in tonight, man. How are you?
I am well. Good to be here. Good to be here. I can't be on too long tonight. I got to drop my daughter off early. She got a very early flight, so I made it hop off earlier than usual. But okay. Good to be on here tonight, though.
All right. Good, man. Thank you for being here and giving us your time. Luke Hazley is in the building. I guess you want us to have a break. Luke Hazley said, let's see what she got here. Luke Hazley said, oh, she just sent a $5 super sticker. Thank you so much, Luke Hazley, for supporting the channel. Luke Hazley, I'm going to give you a little bit of Eddie Murphy here. Jamming for a few seconds. Eddie.
Girl, I can't understand it. Why you wanna hurt me? After all of the things I've done for you, I buy you champagne and roses, put diamonds on your finger. And still you hang out all night. What am I to do?
All right, man. Thank you. My girl likes to party all the time. All right. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Again, guys, if you think we need a break and you think that we need a breather, send in a Cash App. Cash App is rolling at the bottom of the screen, or you can send in a super chat and we'll take a quick break for you guys. Thank you so much. All right. So tonight, guys, I want to get into, I got Hink in. Oh, there we go. Hink is in the building. Another one of my guys, man, that's been rocking with me. Hink came down to Dallas and we had dinner together with our ladies, man, and we had a great time. Let me tell you what happened real quick, guys. Quick story. So I was sitting at the table with Hink. We were ordering our food, and there were a whole bunch of ladies there on a girls' night out, and all of them had lashes longer than Interstate 20, wigs higher than the Mount Everest. And one of the ladies came over and asked, could we do a video with her? And that didn't go well because we started telling the truth about those wigs. But yeah, they were out of town. So me and Hink sat there, we laughed all night at that place. But I thank God for Hink as well. He's been rocking with me for a while too. Thank you, Hink, for being here tonight. All right, so let's get started. So I don't know if you guys got an opportunity to see what happened at Essence Festival. At Essence, Hulu went live and showed Essence. And my daughter and I and the rest of the family, I didn't go this year because we had a family reunion running right into it. So I took those expenses and just put it into family. And so we stayed here this year. And we were all watching it as a family. And we watched all the old acts. You know what I'm saying? All the old acts from back in the day. It was a wonderful thing. And then I think they just had a off night. Essence went to a direction that they shouldn't have gone, I don't believe. And this is what I was watching with my daughter, and this is what we saw. Let me share it with you guys. First of all, we have Janelle Monáe. I'll just let you be the judge of it. Let's go. Here we go. All right, that was Sister Janelle Monáe. I don't know the reason why she would pop that titty out like that, but she did it. So if y'all see a dark figure in the corner, that's my brother.
She did
it. Okay, you're right. So yeah, so he did it. She did that, and let's play it again for the people in the back that forgot their glasses. All right, so Essence is supposed to be a family event, right? My daughter was like, I said, "Oh my God, this can't get no worse." And ladies and gentlemen,
you did not say that.
It can't get any worse. I said, it can't get no worse than this, Mr. Bennett. I said it can't get no worse than this. I told my baby that was just a slip up. She got going through mental illness. So I said it can't get no worse than that. And then about 10 minutes later, this happened. And then that happened. Wow. Megan. Okay. Now, after that happened, a day later, India.Arie, the singer, the soul singer, the neo soul singer, had issues with it. And I don't want to assume what she said. We're just gonna pull up what she said. I have a screenshot of that. Let me go ahead and pull that up for you guys, because India did not like the disrespect. She thought it was very disrespectful to families or people who were hit hard by it, not knowing that it was going to happen. So let me pull up what she said, and then we'll go from there. Give me just a second here. Ow. All right, it's pulling up now, guys. There it is. So this is her comments based on what she saw at Essence that she really didn't appreciate. All right. This is what she said. She said, the issue is what is context. Humanity does everything, but does everything belong in a stage? No. Is everything for kids? No. Is everything for everybody? No. So when, as a culture, make something like this mainstream, it shows a lack of discretion and discernment. To those in the comments who laugh at anyone who wants these things for our culture, you certainly have that right. Just as many folks have the right to want our mainstream international export out music to show us in a respectful light, I like to go on the record saying this won't age well, and that's my issue. I love Janelle and Meg the way I love us all, and I don't like this moment. Don't bother debating me. Laugh out loud. I don't care, and I do this. For 25 years, I've done this. So read, ponder, or don't. Those are the words from India.Arie. After she posted that, they drug her like they normally would.
She doesn't care.
And she don't care. They were saying she's old. She's upset that she can't make music like Megan and Janelle Monáe. They said that she regrets having a trash career. Who are you to tell us something? You're nobody's mother. They just went on and on and on and on about India.Arie holding them accountable. Guys, I want to just get your thoughts about the two videos and the India coming back and trying to hold them accountable. And we'll start at the bottom up. Hank, what are your thoughts about the videos and what India said to them?
I didn't really get to see the video, but I did see where India.Arie was saying something about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't stay long. I got to do something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what needs to happen, though. Elder needs to be in these young ladies' area and definitely make sure they know what's going on. I'll let it be known that I see you, but you shouldn't be moving like this. You should be moving totally different from where you're moving. Of course, we know some of these young girls are ratchet. They don't give a damn. They'll cuss the elder out in a minute. They did. What's the comedian's name?
Monique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The chick that she just crossed over.
Yeah.
She mentioned about wearing a bondage in public and all that, and they crucified her. So, India.Arie, get ready, it's coming. They're gonna crucify you next. Give you shit, and probably ready to cancel you and everything. Excuse me.
God bless you, Doc.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Bennett, what are your thoughts?
Well, I guess I might have taken issue with the premise that Essence is a family event. It may have been at one time, but at the end of the day, it's about the money. So this is where I would maybe, push back a little bit on what Ray was saying. This is capitalism. This isn't communism.
Right.
They're going for the dollars. They know that those names are going to bring in money. And yeah, you can bring back the old school acts. You can bring the Indians. You can bring in the Frankie Beverly and Mays and all these old acts, Stevie Wonder, whatever. But for this younger generation, they saw the dollars that can bring in. So this was a financial decision. So my thing is for anybody who would even go, that'd be only pushback for the people who went. I mean, what else does Meg Thee Stallion do? That's what she does. Is she gonna come out at the end of her set and have a gospel song at the end or something? I mean, this is what what you're known for. But yet if you're gonna bring your daughter to that, then you should know what you're getting into. So I can't necessarily let the parents off the hook if that's not something that you want, or even how Monáe is moving these days. The name of her song is about the areolas. So I mean, what do you expect? So I think that adults, especially if you have children, that's a concern. You have to have some, you have to have some control over that as well, as far as what you're getting yourself into here. So I think what Essence is trying to make money at the end of the day, and I think adults, if that's something for your kids, I think you have to be a parent. You got to say no. You're not going to you're not going to see Meg the Stallion. So I think all those things are together, but I agree with Hank as far as, I mean, young ladies today, they're not going to be listening to, older ladies like that, as much, what she's given to the art of music. They're not caring about that these days, but yeah, no, if the door says rated X on the front or adults only, then yeah, you should probably pay attention to what's on the door before you go in.
Absolutely. Let's go to JT.
Yeah, well, it's fucked up, man. I get exhausted. Man, every time I see this type of behavior because it's just happening so much, and not even Janelle Monáe or Megan Thee Stallion. That's what they do. But when you start seeing just regular women that actually, this is like their gospel now, and it's at the point where it doesn't matter how old they are. Doesn't matter how old they are. I mean, you already had women that are now in their 60s that are raunchy as hell. They've been raunchy all their life, and in my opinion, I mean, this is where them young girls get it from anyway. They get it from, in their neighborhood, and this is basically what we were talking about earlier. They're not feminine at all. And I have to put a lot of the onus on a lot of these men too, because when you get men and talking about this, if they seen that with Janelle Monáe, they'd just be like, they're not going to talk about the message that she's putting out there for the younger generation or anything else. The only thing they did was saw that titty, and now they done flipped over. Hey, man, shit, she did have a badass body. You ever seen how men could just go from making sense, and you have a woman and they see some ass and titties and they just go straight dumb? This is what's happening right now. The guys really don't care. I'm gonna tell you, the majority of dudes, and the younger they are, the least that you will see that they care. They don't start caring until it start affecting them and they started getting older and they got something going for their life. Other than that, it was the same thing, in our era when we had Luke. It was in a place, you know what I'm saying? It was in a time and it was a place. And if you played some Luke stuff and it wasn't in the club, and if you played it like how they playing it right now, if it wasn't late at night, then I couldn't even imagine it. I couldn't even imagine the 80s and the 90s where we got Too Loud Crew on daytime or at the Essence Award. Remember, they're one of the ones that BET, MTV, VH1 had pretty much had on the block list. They had, because for one, it wasn't making any money, and Luther Campbell was going against the industry anyway. He was going against the industry because they wouldn't allow that man to have, what was it that he did with the parental right,
Parental advisory, yeah.
the parental advisory. It was a big, all the way to the Supreme Court. It went to the Supreme Court. And now when I think about it now, I'm like, I think that's where we kind of went wrong at right there, because we paid that a lot of attention back then.
And guess what?
Attention.
And right. And let me insert something on that real quick. You see how, even if you want to go back as far as Prince, when Prince put his music out, the Catholic Church, all the churches got together and said, oh, hell no. They went and bought up all his music and burned it in the square. Right? Even when Luke came out, they went, like you said, it went all the way up to the Supreme Court. People were against it. Now pay attention to what we're watching now on TV. Luke is Sesame Street compared to what we're watching now.
Yeah. Electric Company.
And now we got Congress ladies. Right. We got Congress ladies saying that WAP should be the anthem for the ladies. The same Congress that banned Luke is the same Congress that says WAP should be the theme song for women.
She had the audacity. That's what Miss Waters said.
Yeah.
He said she was proud of her. She said the little girl should be looking up to her. If that wasn't pandering times 10,000, I don't know what it was. And the girl was trying to act like it. I don't know if anybody ever seen that. I wish you guys can go on YouTube. You can look that up.
Did she say that to who? Cardi B?
She said that to Megan Horse. She told her,
not Megan Horse.
If you go, and she said, "What?" And she said, you are what is it? Audacious. You had the audacity, and you were brave. And she was giving her all of these exonerating. I mean, you could go look at it. It's still on YouTube. They didn't scrub it.
And Maxine Waters probably ain't had a WAP and since 1956. Listen, hey, let's just be real. So lost in translation. Let's get on up to
She had a dap.
yeah, she got a dot. Dry it. Okay, go ahead. Lost in translation.
Man, what I don't understand is how is it that this type of stuff is placed in front of our kids? I remember a few years back when Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson had a snafu, and they were quick to yank that off the TV.
Right.
But all of a
Alleged
sudden, down
snafu.
here in the Essence
Alleged
Festival,
snafu.
right, down here in the Essence Festival, it's right there for all our kids to see. Here's my thing, man. Why is it that we're always the one who's introduced to the debauchery? You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what, let's go ahead and give them all the foolishness. And then all of a sudden they wonder why we act the way we act. Come on, man. They don't want their kids to see it, but they want our kids to sop it up. You know what I mean? And do exactly what these other folks are doing. Right. Now, there was a time when parents wouldn't let their kids do certain things. Mm-hmm. And I kind of gotta give some pushback and say, you know what, parents, you know, you should have known this was coming. You know what I mean? You got to start taking responsibility for what your kids are seeing. Because I remember in the 90s, man, when Luke and all the other stuff was coming out, I felt like, what you listening to, bro? You know, you can't be listening to that in my house. You know, Bobby Jones is on. You know what I'm saying? You can't be playing that foolishness.
Bobby Jones gossip. Bobby Jones.
Look, right after was it BET Uncut, and then there was Bobby Jones. You know what I'm saying? So you couldn't just play anything in the house. You know what I'm saying? But now they give these kids the iPads, the iPhones, and all this other stuff. And it's like, you know, nobody's watching the kids, you know, the mama working all day, daddy working all day. And then all of a sudden the kids are being raised by this foolishness. It's not being monitored, you know? And that's exactly what artists have always been artists. You know, they're always going to do what they're going to do. But parents need to get back to being parents. And that's all I got to say about that.
But can I add something to that right quick?
Go ahead.
We have to also understand that a lot of this stuff is coming from the parents. They listen to this music. If you got a parent that is 35 and below, they're listening to this music. You got parents that sit back, they smoke weed in front of their children.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
They curse in front of their children. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a lot. They cuss each other out in front of their children. They get ready to fight in front of their children. They do a lot of things in front of their children. And one of the things that I've understood was that my parents, they had to be more cognizant of having children. These parents aren't. They don't care about their children. It's that simple. They do not care about their children. When we sit back and talk about homeschooling your children or get them in better schools and stuff like that, you're not going to have those type of parents that's doing it, especially if the father got more than 3 pairs of J's. If the mama... If the mama got a whole wardrobe of you know, wigs, weave, and all this money that they spend on themselves, right? If you see a PlayStation, an Xbox, you see all these different things, and they don't have a car. The kids don't have, you know, they don't have anything that's tangible. They don't have their kids on. Look at how many people that end up when their kids get hurt or die. What's their insurance? GoFundMe. That's their insurance. They don't care about their children. Most of these parents don't care about their children.
You know what, JT? A friend of mine sent me a clip today of this young lady who was twerking on a table, and her mama was holding her skirt down while she was twerking, like she was assisting her not to see her stuff. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could find that clip. I would sit at the Black Man Unfiltered, but I don't think that's appropriate for YouTube. But just to let you know, what JT said is correct. They are actually encouraging this foolishness. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Because the kids are their friends, not the kids.
Like
you also have a lot of parents who always, it's almost like a guilt thing, as if to say, well, I would be a hypocrite because I used to listen to Millie Jackson back in the day, or Foxy Brown back in the day, or Luke Campbell, as we were talking about earlier. So it's like, I don't want to be a hypocrite and say, okay, I'm gonna keep my kids away. But I thought as you get older, you get wiser. You're supposed to act a little bit differently. But I hear a lot of parents making that as the crutch to say, well, I did it. So what's it going to be like if I don't let my kids to do it? So
yeah, but those same guys who listen to Two Live Crew also listen to Marvin Gaye.
Right. There was,
so there was some balance. You had the debauchery time, and then you had a lot of great music back then. But now it's just all. I didn't want to skip my turn, but I just had to interject.
You can say it.
Yeah, because when Megan came out on stage, guys, it went a little something like this. When she first came out, that's what made me grab my daughter by both sides of her head and just walk her out the room, because covering her ears. Because when she came out, it said "ba-da-da-da-ba," make you want to lick this pussy, sit this pussy on your face, dick down my throat. I said, "Oh shit, baby, come here, let daddy walk out."
It's your 19-year-old?
No. This is my 12-year-old. And I was like, "Oh my God!" I said, "Come on, baby, let's go watch Disney Plus." Hey,
black man, you just said she was talking about a cat and a whale. That's what she was doing.
You know what, Black Man Unfiltered? Check this out. It ain't even safe on Disney Plus. If you watch She-Hulk, they got Megan Thee Stallion on there twerking in a suit. You know what I'm saying?
They got She-Hulk. She-Hulk is twerking with her.
Right.
So
wow.
She-Hulk fine as hell. She over there twerking with Megan. But my thing is this, bro. I'm gonna say this. Even back in the day, let me tell you what I heard. I was sitting up one day, and we went to a family reunion or family gathering. My family always doing something. And my mom and dad took us over. And I remember playing in the yard, and we was throwing sticks at each other, the kids. And I heard, "Don't stop, put that pussy, let me see you do brown." And I said, I said, "What is that?" I was like, and my mama, I remember my mama looking at my uncle like this. And my uncle was like, "I'm so sorry, Sherry. I'm sorry." And he turned it and put some Marvin Gaye on, some Temptation, some KC and the Sunshine Band. Like, we started listening to that. But I guess he didn't know that was, I don't know if he knew that was on the tape or what, but when it came on, and in my head from then on, I was like, I got to find out who was that. I don't know what he said, but I liked it. Right. And I was a kid, when Doo Brown came. So,
but now this is what I can say too. If you were in that day, if you actually understood, he had a DJ called a producer named DJ Mr. Mix, right? If you go to all of those songs that they had, man, he had mixed down so many classic songs, so many classics. Like Pop That P, it's a classic rock song they got that from. And it's like, wow, he took all of the people he paid so much homage to Wanda Page, to Slappy White, Richard Pryor. It's so many people that when you listen to the song, you like, dang, it was more than just, raunchy. It was very raunchy, but what he did was he wanted to make it for the people that was of that age and not for children. But it bled all the way through, because I was pretty much a kid too. I mean, Mr. Bennett, me and Lost in Translation, we were about the same age.
Right.
So we were young folks when it came down to it. And I just, man, as much as being young, as much as I looked at it and I said, dang, because I was just looking at my parents, because they did not. I got beat down when Band in America came out. That was the face that
Band in the USA. I remember that.
Right, and you know what?
Like, I got a beat down for that, man. It was like, dang.
And you know what I just found out recently? Lil Richard. I was sitting up watching a documentary on Lil Richard one. You know how you wake up and shit just be on. I'll be like, okay, I'm just gonna watch it. And Lil Richard, the record label signed Lil Richard when he did Tutti Frutti. Yeah. They signed him, but they made him change the original lyrics.
Yeah.
Does anybody on this panel know what the original lyrics?
Tutti Frutti,
good booty. Tutti Frutti, good booty.
Good booty. Yeah. it doesn't like rock. Well, doesn't rock and roll? That used to be a euphemism for making love, right? I mean, the word itself.
No,
was
not a Little Richard.
Not Little Richard.
No, that meant something different with Little Richard.
I'm just saying, but the whole, I mean, going back, I mean, it's always been there. But to our Payne's point earlier, it's always been categories. You had segments of it or whatnot. But yeah, I mean, but that was
in the world, and you know what? In America was a whole lot more conservative too, because remember they had a song called "Walk the Dog," and it was banned. It's a song called "Walk the Dog" that they banned, and it didn't have one cuss word in it, but you knew what it meant.
Right.
Walk the dog. They banned that. Now look where we at.
Yeah, you can walk the dog, sit the dog, have sex with the dog, roll the dog over, rub his stomach, pick him back up, and kiss him in the mouth. But my thing is, one of the dudes in the documentary said, Little Richard was always gay. And in his lyrics, he would put the gay lines in the songs, and the record label would make him remove them because they didn't feel like the world was ready for that. Can you imagine Little Richard releasing the original version? To the fruity, good booty. People wouldn't
might be a hit today. Hey,
I mean, wait a minute. So are you saying that Tutti Frutti on Rudy isn't gay?
Yes.
Like y'all never caught that?
Oh, Tutti Frutti on Rudy. Yes,
Rudy's a dude, guys. Come on.
Yes.
How many chicks you busted down named Rudy, bro? Like, what are we talking about? I'm like, bro, the lyric he changed it to was equally sus. But I guess when people are singing, they just didn't care.
Good booty is more direct. Right. It's a little
The
more
very
direct.
next line was, "It ain't right unless it's tight."
Yeah. The next line said, "It ain't right unless it's tight." You absolutely correct.
We talking about a dude named Rudy. Like, come on now.
It ain't right. Yeah, but it ain't right. It ain't right. The booty ain't tight. He said, "What?"
You had songs like that all over. Remember that song, "Stroke It"?
Yeah,
Clarence Carter.
And "Stroke It in the West" and
"Stroke It to the Woman That I Love the Best." Man.
Then he makes a reference at the end of the song. It's like, well, if it's not tight enough, you can put it up my,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So I'm just saying. So it's always been there, but it was a lot more subtle. Now it's just kind of, like you said, you walk into the hall and it's like just right in front of you. Like,
oh my God, Mr. Bennett. Yeah, you brought back some old memories, Doc. For damn sure. Wow.
Right.
Man. So who we know? Oh yeah. Hey, and I'm trying to think of the old lady's name that used to have a song back in the day, probably late 50s, early 60s. Like, if you don't like my, she said, what? If you don't like my tongue to trick, I'll blow your balls and suck your dick. Like, she was a blues singer.
Yes.
I know you talking about.
I'm gonna find her in a second because ain't no way nobody owns the rights to those songs. I'm gonna find it in a few minutes. But go ahead, Rick.
Well, he did.
Okay. Okay. So, first of all, there's so many things to broach on this because the reality of it is, and I done said this a million times because I am like, our black culture's trash. Like we don't have anything for families, and the reason we don't have anything for families is because we do not control the narrative. When we have the conversation of whether this is capitalism or communism, the agenda is communism, because they could have put whoever they wanted up there. They could have put, instead of having a bunch of women, did we have to have a bunch of women? We could have put J. Cole up there. We could have put John Connor up there. There's a plethora of artists that actually have things to say that are putting out music because they've lost control of that. But the way that this is pushed is you're pushing a communist agenda. So it's not capitalism. You're using the tools. Capitalism is a tool. When you look at the way these awards are set up, this is supposed to be a family event. Again, attacking the children. Again, when you have a man who sits there and goes, "Oh, like, she do got a nice body though." Like, How about she do got a nice body, but like, let's give the actual context. That's something we play with. You leave them in the streets where they belong. I'm so upset that Kansas City got to take that L off Janelle Monáe's dumbass. Bro, if we lose the next Super Bowl, I'm blaming her. Like, it's just ridiculous. But like, this is the thing, and this is the Hollywood effect. I don't know anyone who's moved to that state and been put in that cesspool that didn't get weird. And these are people who aren't famous. These are just regular people. They go out there, next thing you know, they got chokers on, short blue hair, looking like zombies, bro. Acting crazy, wanting to believe in anything because that's their home base. One of them. That's one of their fortresses. And you know, to the what was the lady who commented on it that we didn't want to listen to?
India.Arie.
India.Arie, to her credit, that's what should happen. The issue is our culture is so cancerous at this point that it's just her saying this with no backup from any women, any men. I mean, the reality of it is the situation at hand. It's like, okay, so we can say, well, these women can do whatever they want. Absolutely. These women can do this. But at some point, you got to think beyond yourself. And this is the issue, because you see these women in the chat that have blocked me because I've already dog walked a few of them in the chat. But I can still see your comments on the back end in StreamYard that are saying that this is no big deal and like putting out this toxic cess into the ethers for people to see and read. At some point, ladies, you have to learn how to look at things beyond your personal purview out. These things have consequences. These things, women who look up to women of this nature, and when you see women of this nature that started out classy like Janelle Monáe, see them devolve. This is de-evolution. What? We gonna go back? We're gonna go be in Africa? Everybody's just gonna be naked and not have buildings over 3 stories high and no air conditioning? Is that what we're gonna do? Is that what we're gonna do as the most advanced subsect to come out of that continent? That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go back to not having buildings over three stories and no air conditioning. That's what you guys want to do, because this is de-evolution. This is toxic. This affects children. This makes the next generation worse than the last generation. They say that we don't want to be married, that we don't believe in marriage. We don't believe in being married to idiots. We don't believe in being married to women that are going to rear another generation out of our DNA of fucking morons. We don't believe in that. But you're sitting here looking at a panel of men who have either participated in marriage or have been married for a long time, and their wives ain't out there twerking on every street corner, making an ass out of themselves and subsequently everybody else who looks like them, because while it's not fair, it's the truth.
Yep.
We have no control over our narrative. They take these women into Hollywood and they're like, cool, we're going to put you on Essence Fest. This is a big honor. It's a family event. Get out there and shake your ass. Look like a hoe. That's what they're selling our children. That's what they're selling our families, which does what? It breaks down the family, because men do not want that level of shame brought to them, period. We want to drag Arie, who we should be following, but y'all want to put Meg the Stallion and Janelle Monáe down that she done turn into a whole ass trick. Like y'all want to put her to the front of the congregation like these are your queens, when they don't have good lives. You could say Meg the Stallion got scooped up by a simp that's tolerating her for now, but eventually that's going to crumble, because these women can do nothing but destroy. Men try to fix them because we like to fix things, but they inherently, they're infected. They have changed. There is something different about them. They are enemies of this culture. They are enemies of this country. They are enemies of a household, and bringing them into your household is inviting that chaos. And I don't even know that you can pray that shit away. Like, that is some straight Satan. Like, you take it. It is evil. What they are doing is evil. Knowingly doing that, knowing that children are watching you and not caring and going, oh, well, it's a free country, capitalism, as though that's an excuse. It's not an excuse. You are harming children. And nobody is actually broaching this topic from the reality. I don't care what she wore. I care that she sowed those seeds of evil, sowed those seeds of just straight debauchery, sowed those seeds of hoism into little girls. Black Man Unfiltered's daughter saw that shit. Like, she's influencing what's going on in everyone's houses, because what we do is we look to who they tell us to look to. You guys don't even, the people who are trying to defend this shit, you don't even have agency in your own mental acuity. You're looking at what they're telling you to look at. You're not even making a choice in this. And then not only that, they've trained you so well because mentally you are so weak that you're defending the thing that's killing you and your people. Make it make sense. This is ridiculous. Like, you don't, like, if you're supporting this and this is free America, like, you don't care about children. And I'd really reevaluate how you fit into a society with other people in it being that selfish, because that's an evil level of selfish, in my opinion. I'm gonna land the plane there.
I'm up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Listen, I mean, there's a little battle going on. There's sisters, there are sisters out there who rebel against what's going on, but their voices are too low and it's too few of them. And it takes a certain amount of bravery to go against your own. But so there's a couple of things set up here. I agree with you, Reckless, about the culture is trash. We're beyond the Rubicon. There's no way to get that back. How many people we lose in this? I mean, the battle has been won by the puppet masters on both black women and black men. The way we feel about each other in this gender war is something that they may write books about at some point, because it's completely irrational. It's completely irrational based on what we've been through. First of all, I think a couple of things. One, I think black women still blame us for not protecting them during slavery. Right? They probably rather us have just been genocided, So, because the way the way a lot of black women,
Marpain,
yes.
Let me tell you, if somebody ever doubt that women ever said that they don't blame us for slavery, tell them to go to What We Know podcast. I had a woman that actually told me, an information man, that they still haven't forgiven us since slavery. The most asinine thing ever.
No, we see remnants of that, and it just dawned on me. And it's not the collective, because some women have seen past it, just like we had to get past the shame of not being able to protect them, right? So a lot of people have moved on, but there's the way I look at it, there's some issues with black men and black women. Of course, we have our problems too, but the way black women view black men is absolutely without parallel anywhere. Nobody else's women thinks about their men the way black women in general, and too many, think about us, even good ones. If they find a good man, they don't want him because he's too corny, he's too this, he's too that, and he's just there to be used for his resources. If he's a Pookie or Ray Ray, and has aesthetics, well, I'll have his baby and then complain about the fact that he don't pay no child support later on. I mean, there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on. And I don't know how you put that genie back in the bottle, but I do think that the one thing black women can do for themselves is have their own internal war. But instead of what's happening is they got a whole cadre of beta males who's their army. So anything we have to say as men, every one of us, there's probably a panel of men somewhere else like Ace Metaphor and those guys pandering to them. So I don't see our way out of this. I mean, logic doesn't work. And blaming doesn't work because a lot of those points, you could always point a finger back at yourself for your fault. So it's hard to tell somebody to fix their shit if your kitchen is not clean. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how we get out of this thing. So I think women have to try to correct women. Men have to try to correct men. And then somewhere in the middle, we could start getting back together and having meaningful relationships. But it's you know, I don't. I mean, we could talk about solutions, and I think we're seeing some of those things happen. I mean, this YouTube spaces at least gives men a voice, right? Women always had a voice, right? Now men are starting to have voices, and some of the women are starting to, you know, share their voices with us, even if they don't 100% agree, and so that helps, you know. But that's where we are. I think women need to correct women, and I think women need to take another look at their acceptance of the rainbow skittle people and how that's damaging women as a whole. It's really going to kill Title IX. Is pretty much dead already. So there we go.
All right, now, beautiful anime. Before you go, guys, I happened to find something here. The name of this blues singer, her name is Lucille Bogan. And Sister Lucille made this music in hold on, let me go back because you had it right here. 1930. Y'all listen, you hear me? 1930. Here's an excerpt from one of her songs, ladies and gentlemen. Hold your finger up like this if you can hear it once. That is
Shit, whoa, what year was this?
1930.
They was split roasting in 1930? Oh no, freaky Jason, come save us all. Send it rock, man.
She said both her men.
She said both her men, and both of her men are packing.
And look, this is what's crazy.
So,
That
hold on,
debunks
man.
all the shit these young folks be arguing about. Back in the day, your ass wasn't born, so you don't know what the hell was going on back in the day.
Like we always say, there's nothing new under the sun. It was just
Yep, there you go, Mr. Bennett. There you go.
Under the sun.
Yeah. Wow.
That's why they were why they're born from that song.
But
And
there was a
you had to
time
get-
and there was a place for that. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, because when you listen to that, you listen to that when your kids were in the bed, your record player was in the back room. Like my dad used to listen.
You had to purchase it, right?
Right.
It's just like the magazines back in the day, right?
Right.
You went, or the videos. You went into the back room, you got the video, you came out, and then you hit it in the garage afterwards. It wasn't for public consumption.
Right.
And the kids had to sneak to hear stuff like that. It wasn't played out in the open where kids were just sitting there consuming it. Because, like, for me, I was a sneaky kid. When I knew when my uncle and my aunts came over and my dad and my mom was there and they would go to the back of the house and we were in the front sleep, well, I was playing sleep. And I knew what they were doing. So I would crawl my little ass all the way to the back of the house. And I would just look through the crack of the door and they would have their food out and they'd be laid back and they'll play. And I remember hearing, just like it shocked me, just like Luke did. I remember hearing I remember hearing bump, pick it up, dump, dump, dig it up, dump, dump, dig it up, dump, dump, dump. Way down in the jungle deep, the badass lion stepped on the signified monkey's feet. The lion said, "Motherfucker, can't you see? You're standing on my goddamn
feet."
I remember listening to that. I remembered it to the point I went to school and did it for the children. And they called my mama and they said, you know, hey, your son up here quoting Dolomite. You know, and I was doing it and I didn't know it was bad.
Wait a minute, PMU, how old are you?
I'm 39.
Damn. I would have thought that you probably would have been sneaking listening to like Delirious.
I was listening to Dolomite. I was at school. I said, y'all come here. I'm gonna tell y'all something. And the kids say, what? I said, way down in the jungle deep, the badass lion stepped on his signified monkey feet. The lion said, "Motherfucker, can't you see?" Right? I had my own little thing on it, and the teacher said, right?
Bring a little mannish ass here.
She said, "Bring your ass here." Right? And then, so I start to move the kids further out because Dolomite had another one that I remember called Hurricane Annie. Right? When he said a woman with a half tall woman with big titties and a big waist, she could turn a cartwheel, throw her titty between her legs, and squirt milk in the judge's face. Like, I remember it. And I used to go to school. And I used to repeat these things
You
to
nasty.
the children and
I
get my
bet you
ass.
was popular, boy.
Oh man, listen, my mama used to tear my
He was
ass a new
popular.
one.
He was-
My mama used to tear my ass a new one. And because I used to sneak and listen to it, and she told me, boy, when grown folks are doing something, you don't do it. And I remember mama them, they moved from in the house to outside the house to listen to stuff, right? Because they didn't want me and my sisters and brothers partaking in it. So back then, parents really caged their children's ears a lot to try to keep them from doing it. A lot of bad kids would still listen, like myself. But shit, you know, a lot of kids didn't even know who Dolomite was. But now, parents, I don't know who said it a few minutes ago, but parents are listening to it with their children now. Get you some weed, girl. We both going to get high together.
I think that's what made it different.
Yep.
I think that's what made it different. Like my parents, like they had Richard Pryor,
Red Fox,
Rudy Ray Moore. You know, it was a lot of things that they had. My father, he used to have. My father, it was funny because he was like, he was nasty, but not really. He had Playboy. I was like, you know, my uncles, they had the real stuff. They had Hustler and Penthouse.
Yeah.
My father was more like Playboy. You know, I'm like, we got too many advertisements in there.
magazine.
Yeah. but
You
but
said
they
too many
wasn't okay
advertisements.
with us. So we had to be curious, and we knew that it was wrong. That's why we had to sneak. That's why we had to go. I don't think it never was anything that was wrong with kids doing that. What made it wrong is the parents. That's why I said what I said earlier. Once the parents start giving the okay and the green light, and the parents don't care what the kids talk about or say or anything like that, they lose boundaries. One of the things I learned, I remember being, you know, at 50 years old, I've dated. And one of the things that one of my theses in my younger dating years was when I dated women that had children versus women that didn't have children. The women that had children, one of the things I found that they could not do, they could not have boundaries. Never had boundaries with their children. It was weird to me. They can come in that room whenever they want to. They can, you know, they can say whatever they wanted to. They had a problem with boundaries. You go in their car, the children and took over the car. Like, damn, they don't even drive. Why they got all their stuff in your car? They got all their stuff in the room. They got all the stuff. And I said, damn. And this is, you know, young women. I was like, damn, these women have a problem with boundaries. So now you got men that grew up with who? Single mom. Guess what men have a problem with now? Boundaries. You have a lot of men that have, literally, you have so many men that they act as a replica of not only their mama, but the auntie, the grandmama, the lady that's right across the street that always came over your mama house.
Yeah.
And when you see the attributes that men gave them, you don't. You see very little. It was stuff they had to learn on their own. That's why, you know, when you start seeing men at 40, they start being honest with themselves. Damn, I'm behind the power curve. Man, I ain't never had boundaries. Like, you have a whole bunch of dudes that don't have no boundaries with women at all. None. That's why they can sit back and call them hoes, bitches. They can sit back and hit them. All these different things. They have no boundaries.
Yeah, because I've heard girls in the mall. If you go to the mall, guys, I'm telling you, everything that you want to hear and see is at the mall. There are young girls who are with their mama and they're saying to their mama, bitch, girl, what? And I'm like, whoa. That's a mother and a daughter. They friends? I wish my sister would have said to my mama, you bitch. Next Saturday, what? Soon I will be done. I mean, she wouldn't have talked to my mother. If she would have called my mother a bitch, it would have been a funeral. Like, I don't understand it no more, dog. I don't understand the guys where
you
girls
think that's something. They call each other bro now.
Oh yeah. And you know what?
Who we talking about?
That shit caught on, and I checked my daughter ass so quick. She came home and she got into it. My 12-year-old got into it with my 14-year-old, and she was like, "Bro." I said, "Whoa." I said, "Come here, baby girl." I said, "Baby," because you know my girls do something to me. I can't really go at them like the boys. I said, "Baby girl, why are you calling your sister bro?" Oh, daddy, everybody call each other bro. I said, no. I don't care about everybody else. We're not going to call. I said, I better not ever hear you call your sister bro. That's not going to work in this house. Right. So I don't want to hear it no more. Your sister is your sister. You want to say anything, you say sis. Right? Shit, you can't really say that no more. But just say sister.
Well, you can't even say sis no more.
You can't say sis
That's
no more.
sis with a C or an S.
Yeah. You know, it's like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You don't know what the fuck to say no more. All right. So it's like I corrected my daughter because when you go to the school, you hear girls telling girls, "Hey, bro," like they're even giving them the
crazy.
Yeah, they're calling each other bro, and I'm like, how is this? This is normalized now. I don't. So now people are. I don't know, man. It's just a leak out here. But let's get Beautifully Animated in here. Then we'll move on to the next question. Go ahead, Beautiful.
What was the question again, man?
Always yours. Now, what are your thoughts on the video? Two videos, and also what did India.Arie had to say to the ladies?
I mean, the thing is, okay, back in the day, you know, the guys would be like, you know, get off my dick.
Right.
So the girls would say, like, get off my titty, right? I could do the same thing with my clothes on and still get you to
Don't you do it?
Understand what I'm doing. Hell no. But there was really no need for her to actually show her titty. With Meg, she's been like this. She has been like this. Booty out for the world to see. Tits out for the world to see. So I'm with everybody else who says y'all should expect this. It's no surprise. People don't parent no more. You know what I'm saying? When my daughter was growing up, there were certain shows and music that she could not listen to. Even my dad tried to help her out. You know, well, the other kids are watching it, and I don't care about the other kids watching it. She can't.
Right.
And the way I was raising my daughter became known to co-workers or whatever. So I even had co-workers telling me about certain things. Hey, don't let your kid watch this. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not all animation is for kids. Just because it's been drawn does not mean it's for children. So yeah, people have to do their own homework if they really care about their children and how they're raised and stuff like that, and have standards and boundaries. There's nothing wrong with what you said, India.Arie.
Yeah.
It's nothing wrong with what she said. The problem is, like somebody said, that the group is small that agree with her, you know. So
she don't have no backup.
The ratchet's always the group is either small or you got the small ones whose voices don't range, and then you got the people who are too afraid to say anything. They agree with her, but they're afraid to say anything.
Right.
And the ratchet will always be the loudest. Yeah. So, you know, I mean, if they're talking with their trans, you know what I'm saying? Yes,
right.
Yes.
See what I'm talking about? There it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I think India.Arie, even when you go back to her music, I remember Mr. Ben a long time ago, we did her lyrics, and we were actually talking about her lyrics. India.Arie, it was months and months ago. When India.Arie in her songs, man, her lyrics were really about women embracing who they truly were. And, brown skin. I know you love your brown skin. I can tell where yours begin, right? Or my hair. She said, I'm not my hair, right? When she was talking about women who wear weave, and she talked about how women should love men. And if you don't know how to love a man, tell him to teach you how to love him. And it's like, so she's one of those women that when she speaks, people should be listening because she's had a 25-year career telling women to love men, be with their men. And she had a song where she said, even if the man leave me, I'm not going to be angry. I'm just going to appreciate the fact that he was in my life. And I'm like, damn, this woman got some words. And so it's like, when she's speaking, man, it's like Patti LaBelle speaking a little bit. Patti LaBelle or Monique now. Monique is when she says something about walking through an airport and seeing women looking like Martians with these damn things on their head.
Yeah. The
and it's like
and the pajamas.
Yeah, and people keep saying nobody wants to people keep saying, oh man, women should be sexually liberated and women should have the right to show anything they want to show, and it don't give a man the right to even look at them and wonder at them. If Megan Thee Stallion, I saw her 31st pitch out. All right. And I said to myself, well, Lord, so if Megan Thee Stallion comes out, her breast out, her ass out, men are going to look at Megan.
Well, they're gonna compartmentalize her to what she is, right?
Absolutely.
That's what it is. She's supposed to be over there on the other side. The problem I have is that you have the women that claim to be good women or claim to be a woman of some, a high status. They standing right close to her.
Mm-hmm.
They singing her songs.
Mm-hmm.
The yes girl.
Mm-hmm.
So it gets to a point where I heard what our Payne was saying when he was saying that the women need to check the women, the men need to check the men. I think the men need to check everybody.
Yep, exactly.
I think the men need to check everybody.
Because here's the thing, Black man, I do remember those conversations that we had early on with India.Arie, but I think part of the problems that I'm starting to see here, though, and this is, I think everybody's guilty of this.
Mm-hmm.
We always select like the selective
outrage.
We selectively pick people because in that conversation we were dogging India.Arie because we were asking a question. She's almost 50 years old and she's not married, and people were talking about how she talks about she's a feminine, a modern feminist type of woman, that her message was feminist and whatnot, and where's her man. People were saying that about her back then. Now it seems like now with this conversation, now that she's going at Monáe and Meg Thee Stallion, now we want to pedestalize her and says, okay, well, she's the one that needs to be talked to. So it's like so we got to be careful with some of the when we picking sides and whatnot. When we were dogging her for not where's your man, and now she's the queen mom right now because she's speaking up on something. So again, it's always like I said, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So we just got to be careful in some of these conversations that we're not always consistent across the board, because she was certainly taking flack for saying, in fact, she even had a post that she didn't need a husband, or she didn't think she needed a man to be fulfilled or whatever, and all these guys in the manosphere were going at her for that. So just I'm just saying, we need to be
just to piggyback a little bit though. I think men should be able to check everybody, but we understand the dynamics of us checking women. We haven't gotten anywhere in 20 years, 30 years. They need to hear it from themselves. They need to have their own internal battle. Doesn't mean we need to change, but we have some issues that we have to talk about. Let me tell you, Meg Thee Stallion didn't only look good to ratchet men; she looked good to married men. There's still
men to men in general.
Men in general. So the point is, I said, listen, I like Janelle Monáe because I keep replaying that court scene when she was in Hidden Figures. I thought she was great in that little scene. But my thing is, I looked at her, I thought she was ripping us off because I didn't see her areola. I was saying, you got a patch over the damn thing. You know what I'm saying? I've been telling her, I said, you ain't even being honest there. Take that off. I can't say that thing go through my head. I don't think she should have done that. And so yeah, she was wrong, and I'm sorry that she went down this path. But Megan Thee Stallion has always been Megan Thee Stallion. She's going to be who she is.
Yeah. I mean, and somebody you said one of the people commenting on India.Arie was saying that you're not our mother. Of course not, because if she was your mother, you wouldn't be acting like that. Duh.
Yeah.
y'all gotta have in mind though that again, these folks that's out there, if you go in there, because I looked at those comments, these are very young folks. These are 24, 25-year-old young folks. These are 18, 19-year-old young women. And they're in a different world. They're in a different world. I said I was going to do it on one of my shows, but you have to go to these panels where these younger folks is, man. That's really like the younger men that's really putting this in there, exposing the women's thoughts. Daily Rapper Crew is one of them, and it was another one with the guys. I can't remember I can't remember those dudes, but they talk directly with these women, and it's dope how they do it because they have the conversation with them, but they expose them. You dig what I'm saying? They always ask them how old they are. They always ask them where they're from. They ask them if they got a man. Then they ask them how do they think about men. How do they think? Most of these young women, man, if you just hear them, they will just contradict themselves. I mean, it only be 15 minutes into the show, and they just contradict themselves. It's like, dang, they lost. You can't even get mad at it. You just saying they're lost. These women are lost. And the young men, in my opinion, they're helping us out. You get a chance to look at what they're doing. They're having great conversation with these women. They ain't out there arguing and cussing them out or nothing like that. They figured out the art of having conversation with them. Because, and that took a minute for these young dudes to actually be able to do it. Because when it first started, just go back 5 years ago, 8 years ago, it was, you bitch, you ain't shit, and all this. Now the conversation is starting to be more of, now y'all can hear what we talking about now, because now everybody's starting to adopt the behaviors that they see everybody else on these podcasts is doing now. Hey, let this one person talk, one mic. If you see it, you see everybody saying it. One mic, everybody. That's I want to hear what they got to say. And when you listen to these young folks talk, man, it's very enlightening. Because we'll sit back and think we're talking about, that's why, if anybody ever heard me talk, sometimes I used to leave before I make a comment. I used to always say, who we talking to? Who are we talking to? Because I don't want to talk to no 50, 40-year-old. Who we talking to? I want to talk to the younger folks, right? I want them to eventually hear what we talking about. That's why it's kind of hard for them to be able to talk to folks that's older, because they think we too old that we don't know what's going on. And it's just because of the language, the codes that we speak on. That's all it is. But at some point we're gonna have to do it. I think these two new batches we got, I don't think they're gonna make it.
Nope.
We have to wait. It's gonna take another 10 years for them to catch on. But I think we came a long way when it came down to having the conversation with each other. So kudos to I guess the black sector. I don't know, but man, it was worse. It was a whole lot worse than what it is right now. So, and I'm very cognizant of that.
Yeah, the world we're living in today has I think the kids today, remember back in the day when grandma said, you think you know everything, but keep living?
Yeah, I remember that.
I think that we're in a world where we need to start telling our keep living. None of you kids can survive right now without anybody. Half of you can't balance money. You can't balance a checkbook. You don't know how to use a debit card. You can't boil water. You have no survival skills. You have been pampered your entire life. You're little entitled bastards. And you think you know everything. And when the world goes to shit, the first people you guys are going to look for is people like us, the people that can gut a deer or hunt down a rabbit or take a squirrel out when it needs to be eaten. You guys will not be able to do it. And I'm saying right now, if you take us away from the world and just leave the young people here and come back in 30 days, what would the world look like?
Everybody trying to bake bread with the sun.
What would the world? We will be walking. Yeah, we'll be walking. Yeah, they'll be serving people feet at hot dog stands because they will not be able to survive.
Yeah.
They cannot. If the world is not like that dumbass guy that did the submarine. The world, you can't go down on a damn submarine to the bottom of the damn ocean with a controller that looks like a PlayStation stick. Right? You like we're getting to a point where
how narcissistic was that?
Oh my god! You know,
and the
and
hull
I'm like,
was made from plastic. You know what I'm saying? Fiberglass.
Yeah. You know, and I think I would have typed up. I think I would have typed up some type of paperwork and said, you know, and in that paperwork, I'm like, hey, here's the second part of that waiver, and that second part, and you know, he would have signed it out of excitement. He probably wouldn't even read it. Right. And it would have been he left all his assets and money to me right before he got on that submarine. As soon as that tuna can flipped over by the Titanic, then baby, we have a different life now. We the man left me everything. You know, it's crazy, but guys,
we hit the jackpot. Don't worry about it. We good.
We hit the jackpot, baby. Don't worry. So what I want to do is, guys, I haven't done this in a while. The audience has been extremely exciting, and they have been promoting and the channel, and they have been, you know, leaving comments after the show is over. They've been doing a lot of great things to promote this channel, and I appreciate you guys so much. I haven't dropped a link for guests to come up in a while, but I will for the next 25 minutes or so. We'll allow people to come up because somebody has some smoke for Reckless.
Please come up here and get dog walked publicly. I'd love to. I would love that conversation.
I'm here for it. I am here for it.
And make sure to cam up too. I want to see if I can get somebody else to be wearing a mask in these YouTube streets.
Yeah. So somebody has.
I worked
some
out
smoke.
this morning. I took creatine. I'm ready.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to drop the link right now. I haven't dropped a link in months on this show, but I do want to drop the link tonight to show some appreciation for you guys to come up and tell us your perspective on what you think about the show. And if you have smoke for anybody on this panel, I pretty much think they're ready for you. Join the conversation. I just dropped the link if you want to come up. All right. Now, Ikane, if you're still in the building, come on up, Ikane, because I think Ikane was one of the people that have some smoke as well. For someone on the panel. But yeah, if you want to come up, that is I just put it in, hit that link.
Wow.
I don't get to be me on these shows very often. It's all like, hey, bro, if you feel froggy, come up here and get your feelings hurt. Like, come on, let's go.
Yeah, go ahead. What you gonna say, JT?
We gonna have to.
Wait a minute.
You got Ikane yet? You got Ikane down pack yet? You got Ikane down pack?
You gotta give me a minute. You gotta give me a minute. Wait a minute. Let me speak for 100 seconds.
Oh no.
Ikane come in hot, boy. Look, listen, let me tell you something. Ikane, when he come up, Ikane don't wait for you to introduce him or nothing. Soon as he pop up, let me tell you something.
Let me say this.
All right. Wait a minute, y'all. Look.
Yeah, how you guys doing today?
All right. So Ikane,
yeah, I don't really have
somebody.
I don't can you guys hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't really have smoke for him, but one thing that I do say is this: you cannot say something about where you haven't been to. You see what I'm saying? So when you say that Africa doesn't have 3-story building, that is called. I don't understand.
I'm just saying, who has more 3-story buildings, America or Africa, bro?
Okay.
Why are y'all all coming here?
Just chill.
Let's go.
Just chill. I understand. I understand you're a black man. You're a black man that is bleaching yourself. But what I got to say to you is this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before I came to America,
did you just say the black man is bleaching themselves?
No, I say he's a black man bleaching himself. So,
No. I got 35% of the winners in me, bro.
Can I finish talking, please? One thing I don't do is this, right? I've never been to let me say Haiti or a very poor country or the place that I've been told that is poor. I've never been there. You see what I'm saying? But I'm not just gonna come and try to say that Haiti is a this or a that or a that. I haven't been there. What am I going to say? I don't
They
even know
don't
any
have a lot
street
of
there.
3-story buildings either.
But and guess what? That is the narrative that speaks so much about some of us as Black people. Instead of us to come together and talk about things that is really wrong with our community. You see what I'm saying?
I don't. Is there stuff wrong
Let
with your community?
Let me finish, please. Because you speak more than you think. And man, there's a reason why we have 1 mouth and 2 ears. So we can listen more than we talk. I don't think you and I are the same age.
No, we're not.
And that's why I give people that are older than me respect, because it comes to me when I give it to them. You see what I'm saying? If I don't give people respect, it won't come to me. So what I'm saying is this: you've never been to any African country. The only place in the United States that is that has more high rises than most African countries is only New York, Los Angeles, Dallas, Houston, or what they call it, Chicago. Those major 5 or 6 cities, Miami. That's it. The rest of them, major African cities, have more high rises than them. You see what I'm saying? But
okay, so question: Are you saying
what
that
I'm trying to say to you? What I'm trying to say to you is this, right? Come on, man. If you want to talk about what is wrong with Black folks, just concentrate on what is wrong with Black folks. You don't have to drag another continent into it. Okay?
I mean that's fair, but I mean if we're gonna talk about high rises, how many of them did y'all build yourselves, and how many of them are the Chinese building for you?
You know what I got to say to you? The Chinese.
You just lost the argument. That's what you got to say.
No. The Chinese. I just. Did you let me speak? You asked me a question, and then the next you start talking because you won't let me talk.
I'm letting
the Chinese are not in Africa building buildings and constructions. You see what I'm saying? Houses in Africa, high rises, which some of the companies that I deal with build high rises, and these are Nigerian owned companies, okay? Not Chinese owned companies. The only thing that Chinese has, if you don't understand, let me tell you the deal between Africa and Chinese. Chinese don't want Africa to pay them in dollar or in yen. So the deal between Africa and Chinese is this: instead of you to pay us, let's use our infrastructure, let's build infrastructure for you, and then pay us with infrastructure capital so that we can take your oil. Just like America came and said, oh, we're going to do this for you, but pay us in oil. Don't pay us in dollar, pay us in oil. But Africa said, no, we're not paying people in oil anymore because we were losing. Then Chinese said, okay, if you're not going to pay us in oil, what about we build infrastructure? So it's exchange. They don't need the dollar. They don't need the yen. So it's exchange. So when you read when you read American newspaper, it's a propaganda newspaper, because guess what? They still want Africa to remain what they wanted it to be. A place where they can come and do a $1 job and take $1,000 out of it. We're not doing that anymore. That's why we'd rather do with the Chinese than to do with the West.
No, I 100% am in agreement with you on that, because I've been in crypto for a decade, so I am big on macroeconomics. Also, most of the tall buildings are in Egypt. Just throwing that out there. But 100%, because America does not have a equal relationship with you. Like, we look at places and we go take things. I totally understand that. And obviously China's offering a better deal, so like, go where you can. One of the things that I will tell you that Africa is the best at is you guys are the highest utilizers of the Bitcoin network, because infrastructurally the finances suck there so bad that like Bitcoin is, you guys use it more than anybody else, which is dope. Like, I've always known that. But I mean, if we're gonna go, like, I went down the list of the tallest buildings, bro. Like, if we're talking infrastructure, like, there's a reason that people are coming here and not going there in droves. And you could say it's marketing or whatever, but like, America is at this juncture, we are currently in the process of collapse, but we won. Like, we're the winners. Like, it's just what it is. Like, That's not even an argument. Like, we've won so hard. Like, when was the last time that Africa went to a war when it wasn't just being bodies for another country? You guys y'all ain't doing it like that. Like, that it's not even a comparison.
We don't need to go to war. You're
100% because you can't. It's not a
we don't need it.
You're speaking about a bunny that goes, I'm noble because I don't hurt things. The bunny can't hurt anything. A wolf choosing not to hurt something is noble. If you can't go to war, you don't get to speak on going to war because you can't do it if you wanted to. Like, it's not even an option.
Let me show you this. Let me tell you this, right? Is it my turn to speak?
Yes.
Is it my turn to speak? Okay.
Yes.
Let me tell you something, right? We don't need to go to war because you know what is destroying America today?
Ourselves.
I have somebody that works at the VA.
Mm-hmm.
When you go inside that VA, do you think that we're going to war and using war as a source of employment for almost 1/4 of your citizens is something you should be proud of? No, it's not something you should be proud of.
Absolutely not.
So I would rather build my economy based on something else that is productive than to destroy one or two family members. One or two people in each family member in the United States. I don't see any gain with that. I don't think that's a good argument.
Well, I mean, if you're talking empire versus empire, it is a great argument because, like, that's how you win.
Guess what? That's true, but that's when somebody has to. Empires have gone to war. Africa started the first war in history of the world.
Yeah,
Africa was the first civilization. Not even the Egypt that you see today is not even the Egypt of yesterday, because you know what? The Egypt that you read about today is not even the Egypt, because I will tell you that history. The Egypt that you know about is the sub-Sahara Africa. They went to Egypt to build a new economy so that they can trade with the Arabs. Because if it's today when there is aeroplane and other things, they don't need to take that to the Mediterranean. They would have built it in the sub. But the reason why they left the sub and create that that sub-Sahara road that went from Nigeria all the way to Egypt was for trade, so that they can move goods and services. Nobody has ever done that in the history of the world. We're the one that introduced trade network. We built it 10,000 years before the world, before the Romans ever got the idea. You see 100%. What I'm saying?
So, no. Well, I mean, I don't have a. Oh, go ahead.
Look at it this way. One thing about the beauty of the world is that civilization come and go. Some are maintained. So I don't think we have agreement, brother.
No, I agree with you. I mean, I'm not a big pro-Europe person either, because the only reason they did as well as they did was because they were in the middle of a trade route between Africa and Asia, and they got the best of both technological advancements. It was That's placement. True. It was sheer luck. If black folks were sitting there, then guess what? We'd be talking about giving white people reparations. Like, it's just what it is. Like, whoever was in that spot was going to advance faster than either culture was, because they were getting technology from both, because they were walking past these people that couldn't do anything for themselves, going, hey, let me show you how to do this. Hey, you're doing that horribly. Let me show you how to do it better. Going both directions. That's how they got where they're at. I was just saying, like, where I'm at, I'm just saying, as far as like winning the genetic lottery, if you are born on the continent of America, as far as opportunity to move up within a society, the abilities and the freedoms that we are afforded, the amount of safety that we have in comparison to a lot of other places, that you like, I know that I won, regardless of how much I want to be upset. I won being here, because I would not do as well as I've done here, or had the opportunities coming from the background that I came from here as anywhere else, period.
Let me put it this way. Let me put it this way to you, because when I say this, some people just think I'm joking. But the African Americans or Americans that have been to Africa or who deal with Africans know this for it. Not every African wants to come to America. In every country, the poor and the lower middle class always want to migrate. Am I right?
100%. Yeah, because if you're at the top, because of the opportunity, because you can't move up there, right?
I'm glad we agree to that. Yes. So what happened is this: when you give Americans opportunity, let's take away Hollywood, right? I will tell you 1/3 of America which have been gone out of America. America mastered propaganda. That's why they use Hollywood to convince people to stay here because of what? Tax revenue. Because they know that tomorrow, if you take away Hollywood and people get to travel, almost 1/4 of this no, 1/4 is too much. 1/10 of the citizens would have been gone. They would have migrated to somewhere else. Do you see Canada? A lot of Americans would have gone to Canada, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you take away Hollywood propaganda. But let me put it this way. I, as a businessman, I live both in Nigeria and America. Do you think I'm going to throw away my Nigerian citizen any day for America? Hell to the no. Because I make substantial amount of money there. In fact, I will tell you, as a black man, I make more money in Nigeria than I will make in America. Because what? There is far more opportunity for me there than I can do here. Even though I do enjoy the both citizenship. But guess what? If I bid contract in Nigeria, it comes to me quick and easy. If I bid contract in America, I have to be white, or I have to go through hooks and then fight with a white guy. Why would I want to go through all that? That's why when I build business as a black man, I built intercontinental business. No, I'm sorry, I built transatlantic business. Why? Every business I build in America, I make sure that there is footprint in Nigeria. So that way, I can link both countries together with my commerce and be able to trade, so that this one, if I'm getting problem in this, like America, I know my money is being counted in Nigeria.
And I respect that, but like I also respect the fact that you have so much pride in where you're from. Like that's makes sense to me. I'm an American, so like my businesses are here. I'm getting ready to put in $147,000 movie theater in a house. When I bid that contract, I got it because my company is the best. I'm the best at what I do. I don't worry about competing with white people. It doesn't matter if you're the best. In all honesty, if you have somebody who values quality and wants the best, they want me. Like, I mean, it's just what it is. Like, I don't subscribe to that. And like, I'm one of as an American who lives here, I would say that me and you probably have more from a value standpoint and alignment than we do in contention outside of what I said earlier, which was a good debate, made for good content.
I'm glad we have this conversation.
But, you know, like, I understand, and I totally understand, because the reason I'm the way that I am is because I was heavily involved and fortunately indoctrinated by immigrants. Like, that's where I got my hustle from. Like, that's where I learned about the opportunities that I have. Like, I didn't always think this way. I didn't always navigate the way that I did. But like, once you start working around people where they're like, oh, you're getting off work, you want to go grab a drink? They're like, no, I'm going to work again. Like, what? And then seeing like the results that they're getting, and me just sitting here going, oh, like I went out to go drink all them days. And a year later, you're making some moves that I can't make now. How did you do this? They were like, I just went to work all the time. You should probably try it.
That's right.
So it's like, I think that a lot of the stuff that we're going through right now is because of the exuberance that we've had and the freedoms that we've had. We have total freedom and there's no consequence, which is it's a caveat, because the consequences here aren't that bad. So other people come here from other countries. And for me, it's like, when I talk to anyone who's not from here, obviously I take something away from that conversation. Like when you broke down how you do your businesses, I was like, that makes sense. So like when I go international, I'm gonna do the same thing. It'll be in reverse, but you know what I'm saying? Like it'll be the same principle, because I'm like, well, I do stuff in the continental US. I'm not doing stuff outside the US. So I was like, you dropped a gem just then, but anytime you're speaking to somebody that has a different culture than you, even when it's contested and they got smoke, like there's always gems dropped and there's always information exchanged if you're listening to learn something. So I wanted to thank you personally, because I did learn something tonight. Learned a few things, but you know, like if you're actually listening to become better, because like I like debating with people. I like getting on these panels and like going back and forth with people. It's fun, but like honestly, I'm mining information. Is the use of it.
Yeah, the thing about it is this, right? There's a lot of opportunities out there. You see what I'm saying? Like black man unfiltered, I've always heard me say this. African Americans should stop thinking that America is not a good place. But at the same time, you have to seize the economy of this country because it's great. But also go international. Go international, please. There are white men, I will tell you, that travel out of this country 2 times a month. There are people that do business overseas. They travel every month. The average black man goes out of this country only for vacation. Whereas the average white man goes out of this country for business. They say on television that Uganda is bad. But I got to tell you, when you go to Uganda, you'll be surprised that you go to certain neighborhood, it's full of white people. And you're like, what the hell are white people doing in Uganda? But they see the economic advantage of going to Uganda. I was surprised. I was shocked. But why am I shocked? Even in Nigeria, there are a lot of white people. But you can count 200 white people, Americans, before you can count one black American. And they tell you these things, but you never travel outside this country. You stay here, you say things, you say what the talking point of the white man, whereas white man is in the same country that is called shithole, counting money, getting gold, investing in real estate, doing business. The same country he calls shithole. He's there making money, whereas we black are here talking their game, their mouth game, not their actual game, but their mouth game. So we got to change the way we do things, man.
I agree. I can 100% agree with that. I mean, I've never been to an African country, but I got my passport, bro. Like, well, I've already got contingency plans because, like, in all honesty, the way that this stuff is working out, it's not going to work out well.
It's not working out well.
I mean, in the long game, it's like after you get so like, if we're not going to actively start fighting back, putting our foot down, and letting them know that we're not going to allow them to push what they're pushing into our society collectively as Americans, like this is going to end up like Rome. Like there's no other end.
Is on that trajectory. So we just have to. It's on that trajectory. But we as a people, we can do better. I tell you that for sure.
100%. I mean, it's sad, but it's like I think I honestly have more faith in people outside of this country because like you like when I talk to people who are from places that actually have problems, right? That have actually seen some stuff. They've actually been like, hey, we've seen how these things don't work. Like you have people that are here now that are telling people like we've seen how a communist regime comes through and like takes away freedoms and takes away rights. And people are just like, oh, you're just exaggerating. And it's like they live through it, right? That's part of the reason they're here. And it's one of those things where like when you talk to those people, like I have more faith in those people being able to go, hey, we know how these systems that are not functional that you guys are trying to implement end up working out. Like I got more faith in those people right now than your average American citizen because people are like, this doesn't affect me. I don't care. Like no one cares. You get a handful of people that care, and then the few people that care, they want to drag them to the front of the inmates want to drag the wardens to the front of the congregation and be like, "Hey, we're gonna destroy you because you care." I mean, they're like we don't within this is specific Black American culture. We don't look to the people like Mr. Bennett, like Black Man Unfiltered, like Lost in Translation. We don't want to listen to our pain. We don't want to take guidance from JT, who's trying to help. Beautifully Animated Speaks has a different opinion. They don't want to listen to her. Like, nobody wants to listen to the person that's actually speaking to you as though they care about you. They want to listen to the person that goes, hey, oh, you want to do drugs? I'm going to do drugs with you. Let's do drugs. You know what I'm saying? And then when the bad thing happens as a result of your actions, they're like, oh, well, I OD'd. And they're like, oh, well, oops. And then it's somebody else's fault. Then they act like the white man came and put the drugs in them. like it just doesn't, that mentality though is how we got here, but it's not just our culture. It's everybody. everybody
It's
thinks like
everybody.
that. There's not that family cohesion. You know, like I had a dude from Kenya straight up give me real game, which was the reason like I went and got my 23andMe done. And he was like, you know, when we come to this country, and this was like back when I was on my hardcore immigrant hustle and I was Ubering right after work every day. And I picked this guy up and he was talking to me about current events. And he was like, you know, we feel sorry for y'all because you don't know where you came from. And he was like, you know, I'm from Kenya. He's like, I know exactly where my family was from. He's like, I know exactly what my genetic line is. He's like, I know why I'm doing what I'm doing and who I'm doing it for and the lineage that came before me. And he was like, none of the Black Americans can really, unless they've done a bunch of work, trace it all the way back. Like we all go, we're from Africa. Where? Oh, yeah, the continent. Like,
yeah, it's very important.
Yeah. And you know, like we follow under, like, honestly, something that everybody should do is like, you should look up the etymology of the word black because you'll stop calling yourself that. Like, we are not black people. Like,
it was 9 years ago. I was already telling people that, and it was like, hey, when nobody listening to me.
I mean, they're literally speaking curses into existence. Like, oh, like you might want to look that up and stop referring to yourself as such. Like, it's not like I can, and I understand that people have like a feeling about it, but like I really urge everyone to go get their 23andMe done, so that way you can at least get some pieces to the puzzle.
Yeah,
because like they go deep. Like, I mean, I don't know. Hold on, can I get this on the screen? Yeah, and see my Eye of Horus there. I got that before I got my 23andMe done, but like I'm a genetic descendant of Ramses III, so I actually have a blood tie to Egypt. Like, it matters. Like it, and like having to be able to go back and look, because like most people like, oh, we was kings. I'm like, you don't know that. It's the same thing as when these white dudes are like, oh, we're the superior race. Like, your family never owned a slave. Like, you've been poor forever. Like,
wow.
like, bro,
you
like,
were not part of that 8%.
No,
right?
I was like, look, everybody who owns slaves, I'll tell you this straight up. Everybody who owns slaves, you know who they are because they still rich.
Yeah.
Very rich. They running this shit rich. Those were the people who owned slaves. Like, I mean, and realistically, like, I've looked into the history of like the slavery up in the area that I'm in, because Kansas City, we have a junction that's in a popular shopping area where if you go down below there, they have a catacombs that links all these businesses in like a 2 or 3 block area together. And it's catacombs. Correct. And they used to hide slaves down there when they were coming in and doing the raids. And like those pins are still in the walls. And like some of those buildings actually seep some of their storage into those catacombs. And everybody that I know that works at those places are like, yeah, it's bad when you go in there. Like, you just don't feel well. Like, it's bad. And like, you can still see the pins in the wall where they used to chain them up to them and everything. Like, all that shit's still down there. And but like, when you look at the history of the slavery that happened in this area, the slave owners that were in this area literally worked the fields with the slaves. Like, it wasn't like they had plantations up here. It was like, I got some help and we out here together working. So it's like a little, like, when you actually like delve into the stuff that we're told and like the way that it's played out, it's like, yeah, this is horrible. But like the further south you go was where like it was more horrible. And like the further up north you get, because like they were coming here and stealing slaves. Like Kansas was coming over into Missouri regularly, just tearing shit up and freeing slaves. Like, that's why there's the KU-MU rivalry. That's why that exists. The two states never liked each other. Because of that, the Jayhawkers specifically used to raid Kansas City, Missouri all the time. That was their thing. But
man,
I mean,
you know, I'm glad y'all chopped it up, man, because it ended up being it started out, well, let me talk, and then it ended up y'all end up getting that talk out, man. So I appreciate you guys.
He's a solid dude. I get a little reckless, you know what I'm saying? I respect him. I respect that. Yeah. You know, the deal is this: you got to be able to take it as good as you can give it, bro. And it was a good conversation.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, man, thank you guys again, man, for having that conversation. Thank you guys for having the conversation tonight with me tonight. Arpain, thank you. I know that Arpain, he had a stripping event tonight. He's supposed to go and teach some guys how to be strippers tonight. And he chose not to go there. He chose to be here. So I appreciate him dearly for canceling that stripping class tonight. Beautifully Animated was teaching another class. We're not going to talk about it online. We'll talk about it behind the scenes. And I'm so glad that she's here tonight. If you don't know what class she's teaching, just go watch one of those episodes of the Dust of Sphere. It'll show you. Absolutely will. Thank you so much for being here. Lost in Translation, man, thank you for being here tonight. I knew that you were headed over to Be Brave's house to take care of business.
Oh my God.
You chose to come in and have the conversation tonight. And so I appreciate you so much for being here. I knew you were going over there to snatch the mask, and you chose to be over here. So I appreciate you, brother. JT, thank you for being here tonight. I know that you were supposed to be somewhere tonight as well, but you chose to be here. Ray, thank you for being here tonight. I knew that you were supposed to be out putting foot and feet in asses, and you chose to be here. And I appreciate you being here tonight. This was a great conversation. And tomorrow night, guys, please don't forget at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, we do have the 1-on-1 Sports Show. If you're a sports fan, come on over, get on the panel, and talk a whole lot of it. And then on Wednesday night, we got Unapologetic with Mandrell and Shoo. Tomorrow night, you ain't gonna believe what they talk about on tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, they are talking about, is the Holy Ghost just a ghost story?
Oof.
Ooh. And so make sure you guys tune into that 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. They're gonna be doing some cooking. I'm gonna jump in on that one. Lost in Translation. You ain't busy. You know, we got me and you together. We're bad, Doc. So come on over. And so we can talk. Yeah, man, we can talk about that. I appreciate it. And then on Thursday, Dr. Nkumbe is going to do Disrupting the Cycle of Inaction Part 2, breaking down the 4 Ds. So make sure you tune into that on Friday. It's going down on Friday in the barbershop on Friday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to be talking about how can a father discipline their children in 2023 and not go to jail? How can a father discipline their children in 2023 and not go to jail? All right. Now, I just saw a video today of a Chinese man and a Chinese woman walking into a gaming facility, and their son lost his fortune, his college tuition in the game. And he took $45,000 out of his mother and father's account and betted it and lost it. The mom and dad tracked him down to the gaming place. When they got there, he had already bet the money and lost it. They jumped him and beat the dog shit out of him. In front of everybody. That Chinese man, that woman, he was laying some, he was 16. They was laying some uppercuts and straights and some jabs to his ass.
How was he able to bet at 16?
Yeah, $45,000 of their money. He spent. Chinese? Yeah, a Chinese lady and a Chinese man. They beat the dog. I mean, when I tell you they beat his ass.
No, that was coming.
They beat his ass like he stole Jesus' supper. And it was really, really bad. 45,000. I think if I looked at my account and my son stole $45,000 of my money, I wouldn't be able to do the show for a couple of months. It would be really, really bad. On my
Why would they even let that young man even have access to that amount of?
That's what I was.
No, he's a thief. He found a way.
Yeah, he found a way to get into his mom's account and betted that shit.
Right, they're not.
He gave the gaming service. He gave the gaming service their account information and betted the $45,000.
That's what I was talking about with those boundaries.
Yep,
those boundaries.
I thought Asians have boundaries. He found a way.
Yep.
You know, he probably didn't just take an envelope. He just probably took a bill or something and just opened it up and just went from there.
Bruh, he went. I can't believe he went. He could have had his college paid for a few times. He could have just went and bought a Bitcoin, bro. Like, this is terrible. These people are stupid, man.
You talking like he was smart.
But back in the day,
I know.
Back in the
I just
day,
want them to be.
Back in the day, who on this panel would have went into your mama's account and gave her account information to anybody?
I'm not doing that.
It's a suicide mission. If I do that with my mom, it's a suicide mission. I'll be dead.
Iki, are you getting pulled over? Are you getting pulled over right now, bro?
No. I'm serious.
I was so worried. I was like, "Oh man, they got you, bro."
Guys, you guys will be surprised what I just saw right now. I saw, you guys are going to be surprised what I'm just seeing. Do you know those 18 wheelers or something that normally will carry like about 10 cars?
Yeah.
All the 2 cars in the front were on fire.
Oh, what?
What?
I'm telling you for real. That's what the fire people are putting out.
Whoa. Me and you in the same city. Ikene, where's this at?
This is I-35 going north before 635.
Oh yeah,
you remember?
35
after, yeah, you know the forest land exit on 35.
Yeah.
Yeah, just right under the tollway.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man, the 2 front
That's
cars
crazy.
on fire, man.
What? They weren't even on. That's ridiculous.
They're not on. But how did fire get into those 2 cars? I don't know.
Right, so I want to ask one more thing, and I know this conversation may evolve and the show may not end right now. But what are you guys' thoughts on? Do you think that Keke Palmer's baby daddy had a right to call her out in public for her activity with Usher?
It's questionable. I was going to say it's questionable, but she disrespected him in public. That's what she did. You know, I did a piece on that. I got a nice video.
Whenever you have something that was done in public, you have to address it in public.
Exactly.
That's what I've said before.
Exactly. I'm rich on that. Beautifully animated. I think that. I mean, you see how she was dressed and grinding all on Usher, bro. I'm like, girl. Like I know that baby gave because before she had that baby, she was built like a 10-year-old boy. Now, after that baby, that girl is. Let's just be honest, fellas. That girl fine as hell. And that baby put some weight on her. She's got curves. She got that little waist, them big old breasts, that big old ass now.
Yes. My man's walking around. I got super sperm. I could transform a woman from what she was to this. If I was my man, that's what I'd be selling. Exactly. I got the super sperm, man. Just come over here. Yeah.
No. Wait. You know what? She's new to this body, and she don't know how to work it. You know, she don't know how to.
Oh no, she know how to work it. Let's be honest. She know how to work it. The issue is she don't know how to work it for her man. Apparently,
I would have gave her. I would have cussed her ass out. I would have did it in public. It'd have been me and her. And I would have. It all depends on how she would have responded to me. If she was out there trying to justify it, it's a done deal. It's a done deal.
I think he probably said
her intentions was way more. It means way more to me than what she did because she could have just, at the end of the day, she could have did something. She got caught up in the moment or whatever the fuck it was. But I'm gonna test that. I'm gonna test the gangster because I'm gonna give it a business. I wouldn't have never did it on social media though.
I gotta say something real quick, guys. Any quiet person that you see that snapped, right? They didn't snap because one thing made them snap. They snap because they've been talking and they were not being listened to.
Yes.
And guess what happened? Then they snapped. And when they snap, the whole world is like, oh, why did you snap? We don't go to the person that started it. We always go to the person that finished it. That's why accountability, when it's not spread, the agitator becomes the sympathized.
Yeah.
We cannot sympathize an agitator. It's not good because they will do it again and again and again. And guess what is going to full of shit? It's too late. When that guy came out to the public and said that in the public, right? He's been saying it in private. He wasn't being listened to. So he snapped and came out.
Yeah.
And then instead of him to talk, he hollered. Because when somebody's pinching you, right? If somebody's pinching you, it will get to a time you're going to holler because you've been trying to tell that person, please stop. Stop pinching me. Stop pinching me. And they keep doing it because you're not doing anything to the contrary, right? They're going to keep pinching you until you slap their ass, right?
Thanks.
Then they're going to stop.
Yeah.
I think the real reason why he said something in public was because he wanted to stop her from doing something stupid later on too. You know what I'm saying? All we got was
Usher went on hit
video.
that night though.
It's still there.
Nah, Usher. If you seen that video, black man, you will see Usher is a professional. Usher did not make any advances towards her.
With the camera on.
On camera.
No, but you gotta understand, he has a relationship with a woman, and he has a long-term relationship with a woman, and he does this every night. She ain't the only and the first woman that he's done son. It's Usher Raymond. This is if it was Lil Boosie, then I understand. But we're talking about somebody that actually understands their value. You dig what I'm saying? That's why what
you said. Hold on. Let me get you right. You said if it was who?
Lil Boosie.
Lil Boosie.
Lil Boosie.
Oh, okay. If it was Lil Boosie, okay. I was just making sure because you know he.
Lil Boosie. Which my man is in jail. Y'all know he in jail too, right?
Yep.
But
What do this time?
it don't matter. It's about to happen for a long time. He about to be back in there for a long time.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
But I think that
Not like the outside.
it's just unfortunate, man, that these folks are in the limelight and you know people make it as big as what it probably really is. To tell you the truth, I've never had a dislike for Kiki Palmer. I actually I actually liked her, you know. I ain't talking about no Keely and the Beast. She was a kid then. But when you actually look at her body of work, she actually is really good acting. However, Hollywood is weird. It's very weird. People are weird in Hollywood. You know, it is what it is. It's just the fact that they're up under the microscope. Like I said, if it was a real life situation with normal people, say if I put myself in that and I had a woman that did something like that and that was my woman, I think I probably would know her enough that once she feels this wrath that I'm giving, because you know it's just what it is. I'm not about to put her out there on Front Street because I'm still going to protect her, and I don't want to. If she made me look bad, and I'm like, damn, you made me look bad enough when your ass went out there with
damn. This is what you just said, right? What?
And her next move is a key in the big ass.
How are you going to protect a woman that does? You see the problem? Why would you protect a woman that doesn't want to be protected? That's why black men are so. We become so feminine. She has every intention.
Listen. I get what you're saying, but I'm saying her intentions to me speaks a lot louder than the action that she did. We talk about a woman. It depends on where she came from. Like I said, Hollywood.
This is why we always think we're going to kiss a hole.
Put my woman on. Let me tell you something. I won't put my woman on Front Street. Not until she ain't my woman. Not until she ain't my woman. This is coming from a dude that
You know what? Let me just say this one thing. I wonder what would have happened if he would have said, "Hey, it's the outfit though. You're my woman," as opposed to say, "You're a mom,
outfit, bro."
No,
she is a mom though. Let's be honest.
Wait a second.
That man was in one city and she was in another city.
To a whole slew of women who are moms who don't give a shit how they look. There's all kinds of women who are moms. What difference does that make?
Yeah, they're all
Listen,
shameful. They're all shameful.
Bro,
You're
I can
100%
agree
right,
with you
Arvin.
guys
They're all
This
shameful.
is my whole thing. This is what I'm saying. If that was my woman and we wasn't married, and we got a kid together, I'm not gonna just sit back and put her on Front Street like that.
So
I'm gonna give it a business, but it's gonna be between me and her. I'm never gonna put the village out there on her.
So
It's not gonna happen.
So JT, if you was at home looking at your phone, and you say, "All right, babe, I'll talk to you later," and then I or Mandrell or somebody, your brother, send you a video of your woman grinding on Usher and looking him in the eyes, and he's serenading her.
Yeah,
you gonna be quiet until she get home.
Yes. So she gonna have to feel. This is what I'm saying. She has to feel my wrath. And I'm not about to put anything out there. I'm not about to be a man that's so damn emotional where I can go to jail. Nope, I'm gonna be cool.
No.
JT is one of them scary dads, bro. Like, I'd be mad if I was JT's kid, bro. Like, you know you gonna get it.
Because I've been talked to her before, or text her. I would have been. It's gonna be a long ride to the house. That's just what it is. It is what it is.
When they say put your hands on the woman, we said if she do it in public, if she do it in public, we settle it in public. You know why? Because you're gonna send that message. I gotta tell you something.
Going nowhere. I'm gonna be at the house when I call her, and she finally answers that phone. Guaranteed, that's gonna be the longest ride home. She don't know what I'm gonna do. She don't know if I'm gonna be gone. She don't know if I'm gonna have all her stuff gone.
Oh,
she don't know
now you talking.
However, this is my thing. I'm not gonna be in that place right there until I see what her.
But the mistake that you're making, JT, is this: the house that he stays in is Kiki's house.
That's right.
Kick who ass?
So it's not gonna be. He can only move his Kiki's house. Kiki's house. Okay, Kiki's house. Okay.
Kick himself out.
That's the issue, though. It's in her house.
He's gonna grab himself by the scruff of the neck and kick himself out.
But guess what? The only choice he has is to speak out or leave, and he choose the former, not the latter. So either way, he choose something, and whatever he choose pleased me really good. I liked it. I'm good he did what he did. Because guess what?
What's going on, English?
I don't know the breakup because people, you know what? People, Kiki's publicists are coming and saying that, oh no, it's a rumor. The video or the music that was put out was old music, old clip. So we don't know what is going on. But either way, that guy made his point, and the whole world heard him loud and clear.
I can feel that.
So
let's welcome Angry Snowman in the building, aka Chuck Blick.
What's up, Black Man Unfiltered?
What up, Angry Snowman?
What's going on, my brother? Hey man, you have anything you want to say about the show tonight before we move on to our next person?
Actually, I was going to. The only reason why I came up is I wanted to comment on what you guys were talking about.
Right, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Because I agree with JT, 100%. I would if I am married. You know, I've been married for 7 years. Been with my wife for 10 years. All right. Mm-hmm. Now, if one of my buddies sent me a video of my wife doing that stuff, I'm not going to put that stuff out on social media. I'm not putting it out on blast because everyone else doesn't need to be in my marriage, in my relationship, and that's what happens. Mm-hmm. And quite frankly, that's the type of stuff women do. That's female energy to do that, to put that stuff out there for the entire ether to see. A man deals with that stuff on his own, and he corrects his wife, directly. And then that's how he solves problems without involving the rest of the community with him.
Anybody want to respond to that?
I'm going to respond to that. My response is this, right? Do you know why it's called community? This is why it's called community. When you raise your kids by yourself, you destroy your family. But when community helps you to raise your kids, guess what? Your kids become asset and value to the community. So this is what I see all the time. This is what I see.
Well, hold on. Respectfully, what communities today are helping raise kids?
He's talking about Africa. He's talking about Africa. He ain't talking
Well,
about
no. Wait a minute.
He asked me a question. I'm going to answer him. And you're right. What community? You know why there is no community? Because people become individualists.
Well,
oh dang, God got
and even with that, if you think about it, even back in the 80s when we still had communities, when there were still block parties that were going on and stuff like that, there were still certain aspects of the marriage that a man and a woman kept in their bedroom to themselves. They didn't go and share their problems with everyone else in the community.
Yeah.
So you can't argue that point.
Yeah.
This is what I said. This is what I'm saying. I'm sorry for the internet stuff. The reason why we don't have communities is this is why. Because people became individualistic in attitude. When you don't use something, what happens? You lose it. This country stop using the community.
The community doesn't need to be in your marriage, though.
I got to tell you something. I got to tell you this. I'm from a place where they practice both community and individualistic attitude now. Not before, but now. And those that practice individualistic attitude, right? We all see how their families are turning out. And the ones that raise their kids based on what the community is going to think or what the community is going to say, right?
We're talking about our wife, not our kids.
We're talking about both of all of them.
But right now, with the topic at hand was a woman who did something to her husband that was disrespectful.
In public.
You're trying in public, and you're trying to equate a man correcting her in private with correcting kids and involving the community. Those are two different things.
And guess what it is? You're right. You're right. It's two different things. But because we pedestalize our women, that's why we pay the price today. I'll tell you one thing.
When you with that right there, we pedestalize women.
Okay. Check this out. When your wife disrespects you and disrespects your marriage in public, right? And comes home and you handle it in private. When something happens in the future again, do you know what the community is going to say? What did you guys discuss when the first one happened? And you're going to be like, I checked her. And she's going to say, he couldn't check my ass. Who was the witness? Nobody. Nobody knew you checked her.
Why does because people would think? Well, sir, respectfully, why does a man need a witness? If a woman makes a mistake, you let her. She makes a mistake. You correct her. Respectfully, and then if she makes that mistake again, that's it. There is no third chance. You don't get a third strike. That's the person that can sit there and say, and
you know what is going to happen tomorrow? She's never going to take you as a man because you know what?
I don't need her to take. The thing is I don't need her to take me as a man if she does it again because I'm done.
Guess what? And another woman will come again. Are you going to live your life like that you're always going to draw the next line? No, when I draw that line, when you cross it, I put you behind the line again. That's what a man does. You only draw one line. You don't draw a second line.
But the how-to is what we're talking about, bro. When it comes down to it, like I said, it's about her intentions, right? Now, if this is my woman, first and foremost, I got grace for her. This is my woman. I picked her. I vetted her. I vetted her. If I was doing something like what they was accusing my man of doing, he was taking pictures of her, half naked, putting it on. Look, if that happened to you, bro, then you're gonna have to get what you get. But if I got a woman that has the respect of me and respect of our relationship, and she go out and do something, especially they ain't been together that long. We all get out of pocket some type of way. The only way she gonna know is the first time that she do it.
What you said is true.
That she was crossing my line. Now, if she's a habitual line crosser, now we got problems. It has no third time.
Well,
let me answer to that real quick. What you said is true about the guy putting up those pictures or videos, right? But there is something you don't know. That's the guy's account. We all agree to that, right? That's his account that those pictures were, right? What about if she was the one telling him to put those pictures so that people will see the reaction. No, I'm sorry, so that she will see the reaction. She may have been the one telling him to put up those pictures. And guess what he did? He was putting up these pictures. But she was testing the boundary to see what that guy would do, how far the guy would go. So that was her intention. So she was telling him to put up those pictures to see the reaction. And guess what happened? He thought it was in good faith, right? Until it was too late. And he was like, hold on a minute. Was it why you were telling me to put up all these pictures? So that you can see how people are going to react. Because this guy's not in Hollywood. He's not a star. He's not somebody that is on camera all the time like Kiki. Kiki has been on camera for not less than 18 years or 15 years, right? So she's a master of camera.
So
she's a master.
Are we making excuses for a Pookie?
That's mistake number one right there.
Facts.
You should not have gotten Kiki Palmer impregnated, homie.
Well, no, because now we can take the kid and get child support. What are you talking about? We can do it too. It's 2023.
No, she can't.
She be a modern woman now, bro.
She has more. No, she can't get child support because she has more income.
That's what I'm saying.
She can't get child support.
Hold on, one quick second. You know, the one thing that nobody's touching on is me. I would have never allowed my wife to have been in that situation to begin with.
That's true.
Thank you. That's
100% correct.
You know, that's where that man, went wrong to begin with. Is he allowed his wife to go out and put herself in a situation or in an environment to where she could do questionable things?
Okay. So see, Snowman, I don't agree with that. Hold our pain. Let me get this one.
Okay, go ahead.
So this is where I don't agree with you. I would let listen. I'd send my check over to any one of you niggas' houses today.
Don't leave your girl around
in a swimsuit.
Player for real.
And look, that woman knows
she like
that if some stuff comes of it, bro, she's staying at your house. It's that simple. Like
my wife is not going to a house party without
listen,
me. That's what it was. It's a house party.
But Snowman, listen. The deal is this: if you are actively leading a woman, period, she knows what the lines are. You just have to tell her. I tell my chick all the time, if we see some mess go on and we walking by it, I'm like, we don't do that in my house, right? Yeah. Okay. Like any negative example, the issue is people are not having these conversations and they're not reinforcing those boundaries before it becomes an issue. She should have known better. Like, if you want to keep me, like if you gonna grind on Usher and it's gonna be a viral video and I'm gonna have to see it and you're gonna make me look bad, understand you gotta live at Usher's house now. Like, I hope he lets you move in.
Let me just say this, okay? I mean, let's look at the dynamics of this whole situation.
Come on.
Kiki has always been kind of insecure about how she looked, right?
Mm-hmm.
She didn't have no man above her station checking for her to give her a baby. So she picked out this guy who has the genes, the look, and the aesthetics that she was looking for, so she could have a baby, because that's what she wanted.
would have gave her a baby, though.
She wanted to have a baby that didn't have the insecurities that she had, nice hair and all that other kind of shit. This is what I'm thinking. And he was just a seed donor. And as far as I'm concerned, I think after he gave her what she wanted, she might have been trying to give this thing a try, but I think she's just stopped thinking about him that way anymore. I think if she was a Black Widow spider or a praying mantis, she would have ate it. I don't think she, so my whole thing is that he made a couple of mistakes. And one of his mistakes is every man knows this, even whether we want to be a newfangled Western beta guy. You can't have a real girlfriend when you're under her covering as opposed to her being under yours. It doesn't work.
Right.
It doesn't work.
I say that all the time.
So that was his first mistake. Now, this guy's not a bum that they've been trying to portray him in the social media. He's not a bum.
He's $500,000 rich.
And Kiki came after him. He just acquiesced. He said, okay, she's a star. I'll knock it out. But let me tell you, this guy on his own probably had so many women much better looking than Kiki because he's a personal trainer. He's probably been smashing chicks his whole life. Nice looking ones. So he went for her. And you'll find, so he tried to, when he came out, when people think he was insecure, when he put that blurb out there, It was pretty much just anger. I don't think it was emotional or anything. Hey, I think it was more anger, and that's it. But if they could make it past this, it'll be something. But I think Kiki is not going to like it. But if she wants this guy and she wants to have 2 kids by the same guy, she's going to have to reconcile with this guy.
Mr. Penn, check this out. Mr. Penn, check this out.
I see you up there.
You see all these women that are trying to say, hey, Kiki, leave his ass. Kiki, leave his ass. They're going to be the one pushing the guy behind Kiki's back.
Oh, no doubt.
Right.
Right there, man. Right there, man.
The one point
on this DM, no doubt.
The reason
this is what I don't like about this whole situation. Everybody's giving Kiki a pass for making a mistake, but they want to run this dude in the ground for making a mistake. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
No.
I don't think he made any mistake.
No. Here's my thing. Should he have
was
pulled
minding his own business?
Listen, should he have pulled her to the side? Probably. But my thing is this: if he had pulled her to the side, do you think she would have publicly came out and apologized for embarrassing him? Do you think she would have done that?
I think she should. That's what I think. I
think it's unreasonable.
But you see what she did? She sung an Usher song to him to break up with him.
Right.
She said she sung the song from a man that started it all, and she sung it to him. That shit was cold hearted, bro.
She was like, "Let it burn." You know what I'm saying?
Let it burn.
Here's my thing. We live in a generation where it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Yep.
Sometimes you got to put your foot down, man.
Thank you.
As a man, number one, he should have never impregnated her before she got married.
That's
As men, we don't put standards on ourselves to say, "Hey, look, if you're going to be my wife, these are the things that I need you to agree to. If you can't, so be it."
I mean,
just like on that. And a lot of times when women choose guys like this, we call it stepping down, so they don't have to step up to be with somebody who they respect. That's all that is.
Well, lost in translation. Just like earlier when BMU was talking about boundaries for children,
right?
Do we not also set boundaries for our wives and our women? Just like as men, do we not set boundaries for ourselves as men?
Absolutely.
There's certain things that we don't do, and certain things we don't subject ourselves to because we know that we could possibly, be taken advantage of, or something could happen that would go against what we would normally choose to do.
Right.
And that's where I was leading when I said I wouldn't have let my wife be in that situation to begin with.
But here's the thing, though.
But
in her situation, and listen, and no disrespect, but in our culture, they egg that foolishness on. They give excuses. Yeah. Oh, she's a new mom. She's getting used to her body. All of that stuff is justification in public. So to me, it seems like it was a backlash to let her know, hey, this is not okay. And when they got out there, it was for public consumption. So everybody chimed in and said, I don't think she should have did this no matter what, or he shouldn't have came out and said this publicly. But at the end of the day, it came off innocent to her. But at the same time, we still have to give him grace for making a mistake too. We can't condemn one person and give the other person grace. That creates a imbalance where there's a lack of respect for male leadership. You see what I'm saying? And if we don't stand behind this man, then we're doing ourselves a disservice as men.
That's what I'm talking about.
You got to circle the wagons and say, hey, look, brother, I understand you was mad at your wife. You wanted to check her in public. You did this, but next time, kind of pull it to the side. You know what I mean?
But let's stand behind it for now. Let's stand behind it for now. Next time, they fix it different. No, they're not. No. This is what this is what I told a pregnant woman. She started blah, 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 blah. I told her, you know what? I don't care your hormone or anything. You just got to have to check him out. I understand you're pregnant, but guess what? Control your damn self. You see what I'm saying? Right. But some people will be like, oh, she's pregnant. Let her. No, that's how it starts. She disrespects you when she's pregnant. As soon as she has that child, she's going to use the child as a bait against you. You can't do that.
Sometimes people look for their openings. I can use the baby as this.
Gentlemen, may I for a moment?
I'm gonna rub on Usher with his bonus pole.
Let's Spro's politely putting his foot into the ring. Let's let him rock out.
Come on, Spro.
All right, how's it going? Reckless, Black Man.
What's up, brother?
Pain. Hello. Hey guys, I named the 3 people I know. Anyway,
yes, I'm one of the three.
What's up, bro, man? What's going on, boy? What's up, man?
I don't know. How you doing? Okay, so the Keke Palmer thing, get this. So, like, of course, I've been seeing this stuff. I literally just got the tea yesterday, right? So, from my brother-in-law.
Information man, I'm next guy. So this gonna be a back-to-back hit here.
Oh,
Go
the
ahead,
barn
Spurs.
burner.
So, and no matter what point I make, people, that does not mean that I am on any particular side, no matter how whatever point may sound. So stick with me here. I'm going to try to land this plane as quickly as possible. One, who gives a shit? Who cares? This is celebrity bullshit. That's number one. Number two, I heard, just based off of some of the stuff that I've heard, I don't have complete context of everyone's point of view, but like it was like oh, she needs to publicly apologize to her man. I think that's ridiculous to expect of anyone, whether or not they should or not. Mm-hmm. It's just unrealistic. We don't know this person, and it seems like one of those things where it's like, yeah, that's drawing, that's messed up, but it's like, it's one of those talking points, one of those viral moments, because it's someone of influence where we see, and it's like, haha, see, they're all the same. They do this, this, and that. And what's crazy is, because I'm not gonna lie, I've been seeing the I don't want to say backlash, but I guess the opposing argument to probably maybe the majority opinion, I'm assuming here. And the ladies that are like, oh, Keke living her best life, they sound stupid too, because I still don't see it as that big of a deal. Like, yeah, that it's drawing and it's like, yeah, that's a little fishy, but like, these are celebrities. She's a performer. It's Usher. Like, I mean, there's so many factors, and this doesn't take away from something being like okay or not okay. She's not married. She's a celebrity. We don't know if she knows Usher. We also, again, she's a performer. This is like such a nothing burger that, like, to go up and hype on it, no matter what side of the argument you're on, you get to a point where if you argue it enough, you start to look foolish. So that's what I'm gonna say about that. Now, for the sake of the group present, yeah, Keke drawing. It's not decent. It's not nice. It's blah blah blah. It's this and that. But again, who cares? She's not married. She's like, what stand? Like, why is this news? Why are we shocked? Why is it like, oh, like who is Keke? No one was talking about Keke Palmer before this, and now she's like, oh, see, she's a problem. And even when I was getting the information on it yesterday, the person that was giving me the information, they were like, I was like, Keke Palmer. I'm like, whatever. And they're like, no, man, she been drawing, like she be out here. And I'm like, even if, like, who, like, why? Because like, if the logic is like, oh, all these women are this and this and that, and they're trash, especially like, you know, these celebrity hoes, quote unquote. Why is it news? Why are we shocked? Why are we like, oh, see, brothers, this is another example as to why you shouldn't get married? And it's just, I don't know, it's corny. This is lame. It's a nothing burger. And no one's saying
you could extrapolate that to almost anything, man. It's just we're in the midst of this stupid gender war, so it's something to talk about. Not whether they're just objects of a bigger issue. That's all it is.
All right,
it's
now,
just happen to be
okay. I can see that.
Now we got input.
And to dismiss it.
Yeah.
and not to discourse about it is cowardless. You know what I'm saying? So just saying.
Yeah,
I just want to say this part right now. I just want to say this part right now. That she comes off as if she's not ready to be in a serious relationship, nor is she ready for marriage. Because don't no woman who wants a serious relationship and marriage move like that.
Exactly.
And the thing,
yeah, but would any woman in Keke Palmer's situation?
We also had her talking with Steve Harvey, and Steve Harvey got on her about her not listening to him.
That was 2 years ago.
About that, right? So she does not. She don't listen to men. She ain't ready. That's all.
All right, information man in the building. Information man, what are your thoughts?
Well, it makes me wonder if she doesn't listen to men, was she raised by a father? What was her home life like? Because you can always look at a person's home life and get a good barometer as to why they have some dysfunctions. But I think the bigger issue, and I understand what the brother is saying, that it's a nothing burger, it's celebrities, and it's Holly weird, and this is what they do. But the truth of the matter, because I do agree with what he's saying, is that I wonder if we would even be talking about this if her boyfriend hadn't to drop the post that he dropped. I think that's what really sparked everything, because it's not like we haven't had women out here that have been dropping it like it's hot. I think Janelle Monáe, or whatever her name, she went on the Essence Award show, which I thought was embarrassing, and she began to expose her breasts. Not as if I've never seen a woman's breast before, but I just think at an Essence Award, it just was not appropriate, and that didn't get much traction. But the Keke Palmer got traction because I think the boyfriend came out and put a post out.
There you go, the information man.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of that.
That you know what? I forgot about that part.
No big deal. I don't think it was appropriate at a Essence Award program, because Essence is not necessarily like the BET Awards, but
right.
But it's not like it's a 53-year-old man. It's not like I haven't seen plenty of breasts before, so it doesn't shock me. I just don't think that it's appropriate. So I just don't think it's appropriate, for that award show. But what I would say, I just think her boyfriend kind of added fuel to the fire of what people wanted to have something to talk about. I think there's some psychological issues here too. I got to put my clinician's cap on here. I think there's some psychological issues. Have we forgotten that Keke Palmer went through a very difficult medical situation, right? Where she had broke out with what's that, eczema or rashes? Yeah, she lost and remember she went through a really bad health issue where she didn't like, and that plays into not liking herself. So I think her getting dolled up and thank you, sir, and coming out of that condition that she went through and the trauma, because remember when she went through that situation, you didn't really hear higher hair from her. You didn't really see her out there. She went kind of dormant for a while because she didn't like the way she looked, any of that. I'm not making excuses, but I'm saying, yes.
Also, most people who
that's a great reason, though.
Most people who suffer from eczema suffer from asthma.
Thank you. So what I'm saying is she went through a medical condition in which she went dormant from people publicly, and she wasn't happy about herself. She went through a lot, and I almost feel like part of her getting all dolled up like she did was maybe another way for her to say, I'm back, I'm beautiful, I went through something. She was sort of celebrating herself. There's an article that came out. This shows you where her mindset is. And she said this in the article on People. She said, I'm quoting her, Keke Palmer says that motherhood has helped her own her power. And, black women in general, a lot of times y'all like to dabble in the whole issue about being strong and powerful, which is really supposed to be a masculine quality that men have. I don't know why women always want to get into this, I'm powerful. No, it's all metaphorical. But she's reclaiming herself through her pregnancy. And I think through her, on a really weird psychological level, was trying to reclaim her beauty by getting all dolled up like she did. It was like saying, again, I'm still a beautiful woman when I went dormant and I wasn't looking too good. I was looking a little raggedy at one point in time. And I got to also say this. Her boyfriend, is it Darius is his name?
Yeah, that's it. Darius.
Thank you. The fact that he had to get on social media and say, you are a mother, and do that publicly, that speaks to the fact that he doesn't have any power in that relationship. That he used, listen to what I'm saying here, gentlemen. He used social media to scream out loud to the public that Houston, we got a problem here and I need y'all to get involved. He was sort of indirectly screaming out for help, because any man who has power in his relationship with his woman doesn't need to go to social media. He would simply go behind closed doors and say, don't you ever do that again. And then that woman will say, it'll never happen again, baby. And she wouldn't even have to go publicly and say nothing. She would never do it again because so the fact that he had to do publicly tells me, and I don't know these people, that maybe he has tried to talk to her behind the scenes, but she doesn't listen, gentlemen. And therefore, he used social media. Right. Let me just finish my point, please. He used the social media as a bullhorn to get to her because he couldn't get to her on an individual level. Now, with that said, here comes the hypocrisy of this man, Darius. If you guys do some research and comb through these Twitter streets, there was a video where she was shaking that booty up and he was encouraging it on social media while being with her. This is the information, man. I always come with the talk here. When he was on social media with her, he said, look at that. She been working on that booty. So he was encouraging his girlfriend to shake booty on social media, on Twitter and all the Instagram, but then gets mad when she gets up there with a booty outfit on and gets close to my man Usher, who she does know, by the way, that she does know Usher. That's why she was able to get up there like she did. So he gets upset about that, but yet you had no problem with her shaking it for the whole world in a booty clip that you was filming her doing the booty shake. And this is why you know the man doesn't have any power in a relationship. Have you all saw the other clip of her, which is the same clip where he had her, where she was shaking the booty, and he was encouraging her, where she's walking in, and God knows she has booty, and I would be all up in that booty, but that's another story. Okay, now, listen. I like women booty. Let's get that right straight up right now. I'm talking about woman booty, not man booty, woman booty. All right, we're gonna clarify it tonight. And now I'm gonna land my plane, gentlemen. I'm gonna land my plane. Check this out. Do y'all remember? There's a clip on Twitter, and I found the clip where she's walking in that same outfit that he was parading her in on the Instagram clip. She's walking in. There's another woman with her. She's walking in, and the booty is jiggling like good old brand gelatin, right? And he, check this out, Black Man Unfiltered, he walks behind her with the baby in his arm, and she's walking far away from him. He comes in at the last. He's coming in way behind her with the baby. What I'm trying to say is, ain't nothing wrong with a man holding his baby, but he's not even walking hand in hand with her, and she's not walking hand in hand with him, which tells me through the body language, he has no power in the relationship. Therefore, he used social media to scream out. Now, tell me if I'm not making sense, gentlemen. I landed my plane.
The prosecution rests on that booty.
Play the booty clip. Play the booty clip. But remember, I like female booty, though. Let's keep that right tonight.
Now, before you go, information man.
Yeah, I'm going to get ready to drop off.
Yeah, well, before you go, I want to show you something. I needed you to see something. Okay. In this video here, I just found it and I downloaded it for you guys to see. The Chinese ass whipping. Okay.
Chinese ass whipping.
Yeah. A young man, he was 16 years old. He got his mom and dad's account information, put it in a gaming service, and blew $45,000 of his mom and dad's savings.
I'd kill him.
And they found him and beat the dog shit out of him at the gaming place. So here's the video, guys.
He's lucky it wasn't me that will be going to his funeral.
You gonna thank him for that in 40 years.
Damn.
Hey,
you, Dad.
That's like my mother, man.
Wow.
I remember when I used to cry like that, man.
So like us.
Yep.
Okay.
If that was your son information, man, or your daughter who stole $45,000 out of your account and put it into a gaming service and blew it and lost it all, what will be your response?
Well, somebody's gonna get a heavy spanking around here.
If it were my child,
It's gonna be some furniture moving around the damn place.
if it were my child, and
That's
that
crazy.
happened,
But for real though, Black Man Unfiltered, you get my point of view. I know everybody has various point of views about this, but that's my point of view.
Yeah.
That I don't think Darius has power in that relationship.
No, he
does
don't.
not.
And she's trying, and Kiki is trying to own herself and her own beauty and her out of her own words. She's looking for empowerment. This whole thing about power, and that power means you can't tell me what to do.
He needs to leave it.
information, man. Information,
Yes, sir.
man. I definitely understand and see all the points you're coming from. But remember how I said, and you agreed with me, how I was like, yo, it's kind of a nothing burger.
Right, because it's celebrities, and this is the kind of goofy stuff that they do.
Yes. Like, and even like him, like, even when you were like, oh, like he's got a video on his Twitter with her shaking her ass. There are bulls, regular, blue collar or otherwise or lower. They do the same thing. It's not, it's only news. Like, and then the stuff you brought about Kiki, like her being insecure about, like, you know,
Yeah, she did have a lot of insecurities.
Get this, I would argue that some grace may be given, or at least we should add that to the conversation when giving a verdict, as it were. I would say, like, that is something to consider. Women function differently, they process things differently. For them, stuff like that, like, because I do believe, like, some, like, you ever hear like women be like, oh, I do this for me, and it's like you're doing it for a guy. There are times where, not all the time, I think most of the time, yeah, it's for a guy in the deep inner levels of their subconscious, but like, they are weird. I think sometimes they do certain things for themselves, and like you giving that like exposition about like how she felt about like her skin condition, even that article, and that article sounded like some like bullshit, you know, like Hollywood actress shit to say. However, it's like, okay, I take that along with knowing what the little bit I do know about women, and I add that into it, and it's like, okay, so maybe it's not so much, because get this, you can't be so mad at someone if they're being stupid, because if they're stupid, that means they don't know. So even if she's acting unruly, if she doesn't know, she can be given some grace. Now, the bull, I forgot about that part, because the person that gave me the tea about the Keke Palmer situation did mention that he went to social media and mentioned like, hey, that ain't cool. That is corny. If you're going to be posting pictures of her shaking her butt, like if this was like straight laced dude and he came out and said that, even though it is on social media and that is kind of corny, it would be a little different. Like, people really wouldn't be able to like say anything about it. It would just be like, hey man, this guy's pretty straight laced, and like he doesn't understand that his celebrity girlfriend shaking her ass with her friend Usher.
But I just feel like if you don't like your woman, whether she's a celebrity or not, if you don't want her to do that publicly, then I would not want my woman doing it publicly at all, whether it be at a concert or anything.
Most men are not going to do that.
It's really a disrespect, but it also speaks to, I'm willing to bet that he's had issues with her where he's talked to her behind the scenes and he just doesn't have any power in the relationship. And part of it is that she has a celebrity status. So by default, people are gravitating towards her. He just becomes part of the luggage. Just like when I talked about how she was walking in, she had the woman next to her. She's walking into whatever this building that she was walking into for some type of interview or whatever she was doing. And then he comes strolling in way behind her with the child. But the attention was really on her, because at that point, as a man, when you're with a woman or anybody who has that celebrity status, I'm sorry, you almost become the luggage.
Well, we're making this too complicated, though.
Well, it may sound complicated, but it's actually true. You actually become one of the accessories in a relationship.
Let me finish. You're making this complicated. It doesn't matter whether she's a celebrity or not. Are you going to do that in our relationship or not? If she says yes, then he got to leave. If she says no, then she won't do it anymore. It doesn't matter whether she's a celebrity. Sometimes we just got to
never get to any more, bro.
Now,
like, I'm just saying, it should never get to any more. Like, if your wife is running around going, "Oh, if I hump dudes, is that okay?" There is a breakdown in leadership in your relationship.
Right, but Ruckus, this is the difference. Keep this in mind. I hear a lot of guys on the panel tonight talking about well, I would never let my wife get away with that. That's true, because that's your wife. When you get married to someone, I've been married before. When you get married, you make a covenant with that woman under God. That woman is yours. You belong to that woman. So there's a certain different set of rules that come into play when you are actually married to a woman. Although when you're in a relationship with a woman in general, a woman should respect you, should follow your guidance, and shouldn't embarrass you. But but this man is not married to her.
No. But listen,
Really,
I'm telling you right now, my girlfriend.
what I'm saying, I like to finish my point, please. I'm not trying to argue with people. What I'm saying is, even though she should respect him as a man who is the father of her child, she really doesn't have any respect for him.
100%.
In general, because of what she did. And I think he showed a lack of control of himself by letting her get on social media and shake it up prior to all of this stuff, right? But check this out. Check this out. Could she not? I would like to finish my point. Can I finish my point, please? Before everybody keeps cutting in.
One at a time.
Golly, man. So why would? Look. I'm gonna finish my point. She's not married to him, so maybe in her mind she doesn't have to. And I'm saying in her mind, I'm only guessing here. They're not married.
Listen, can I say
never mind. Hey, Black Man Unfiltered, thank you for letting me come up tonight. I wanted to finish my point, and I can't finish my point, so I'm getting ready to drop off. Y'all have a good night.
Hey.
Take care, Black Man Unfiltered. Because I was talking and people keep cutting in, and I'm about to land my plane, but I was actually talking to Ruckus, trying to make a point to what he was saying, and I was going to land my plane and then be quiet, but it's okay.
Go ahead, information man. Go ahead.
No, it's okay.
It's
not necessary.
No,
all I was basically trying to end with is that she's not married to this guy. He's a boyfriend. So what type of covenant have they made between each other other than he's my boyfriend? Yes, as a boyfriend, she should respect him, but he's not technically her husband, right? So therefore, when we're saying, well, is it my wife? Yeah, if you're married to a woman, that's a whole different dynamic than just being boyfriend and girlfriend. That's a different dynamic. Can you calm down, sir? Calm down.
You ain't let nobody say nothing, man.
Because I couldn't finish saying what I was saying because you kept cutting in, and if you wouldn't have cut in, I would have been finished. You see how that works? But you couldn't let me cut. You wouldn't let me finish. And now you want to sit up here and whine and cry about, I wouldn't let you talk. Well, you didn't let me finish. See, that's called respect for one another.
I got respect for you.
Thank you. Go ahead, brother. Now I'm listening to you.
Listen, you made a point about marriage. If I was just a guy going with her, that's a prerequisite before I can ask her to marry. If she doesn't respect me while we're just boyfriend and girlfriend, why would I ever marry her?
I'm not saying you should marry her, sir.
You missing
Can
my
a guy
point
who's
now.
not married respond?
This is a prerequisite to marriage, right? She should respect him as if she was his wife,
right?
Before they put the ring on it,
right? But maybe she's not. Maybe she's not marriage material, sir.
But maybe he doesn't want to marry her too. But that's not the point. The point is, any relationship, any man in any relationship with any woman that you're vetting for marriage, she should give you that respect before you say I do. You can't wait till after marriage to think she's gonna not put on booty shorts. She can't put the shits on while we're just boyfriend and girlfriend.
But he's already, sir, as I was explaining, he was already encouraging her to shake it up for social media. That was the point that I was trying to make.
But when you make the point of marriage, you change the point. That's what I'm just.
I brought up marriage. I brought up the point of marriage because here he is allowing her to shake it up anyway. So what respect does she have for him, and what respect does he have for her? That was really my point.
Can the non-married people?
No, I don't like arguing. No, you make great points, sir. No, you make great points. I'm not denying your points.
Well, what respect does he have for himself doing that?
You know what's really sad in that whole thing when it comes down to it? Because even when we was talking about marriage, she don't care nothing about her child.
Thank you, JT.
Facts.
Thank you.
She cares nothing about her child if she don't want to respect the child's father. Ain't that
Facts.
something?
Yep.
But does the man have any respect for himself if he's
I
having to get on
gotta-
social media and put on booty shorts and dance?
Well,
I gotta say-
that's
I gotta-
true also, but we've
It's
talked
vice-
about
it-
that.
It's
Like,
still vice versa when it
Yeah.
comes down to it.
but
I gotta say something, guys. Let me say this, Mr. Information. Check this out, Mr. Information. When we were all growing up as children, we knew that if you are a girlfriend, you want to put the best face.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be far more respectful so you can get a marriage, right?
Yes.
And if you don't act right like a girlfriend, you're never going to be married. We saw this in the 80s growing up. We saw this in the 90s growing up. As soon as a girl does any little mistake, she gets disqualified by community, by your mother, by your father, by your siblings, and by you. They will tell you she's not a marriage material. So, being a girlfriend is where she's supposed to show the ultimate respect for her man, not when she's a wife. Because if you can't respect your man as a girlfriend, you will never respect him as a wife. That's what we were taught growing up.
Right.
That's how we were raised.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? The result is in the pudding, right? Why? Is because the reason why we have 75% of our women today not married is because when they are girlfriends, they are acting up. So they never get to qualify. They never get to pass the first grade. So most of our women today never pass the first grade. That's why 75% of them are married. Then when they are educated, 90% of them are married because they never still passed. In fact,
right,
with the education, the result goes even worse. Why? Because they think that being a girlfriend is where they're supposed to be nasty, stupid, and when they become a wife, now they're going to switch. No. No.
I agree with you. Yeah.
No, they're practicing at being horrible people. The thing that I was going to say as somebody who's actively single and has a relationship is you should be actively leading. Like, I mean, the thought process that it could even get to that point where like it's like, oh yeah, I thought it was cool if I was humping on a dude and went viral on social media, period. Like the issue is the reason she did that is because she's not worried about losing him. That's the deal. The dynamic of that relationship, as you guys have all stated, is completely ass backwards. He's living in her house. She's the one with the celebrity.
She has the power.
He's not doing anything with himself. He's just a trainer.
Right.
Like, I mean, and that's a dope career, but he's not like, he doesn't own gyms. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's a commodity. Right. Like, you're just a trainer, dude. Like,
it's about power dynamics. She has the power dynamic.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. She didn't fear losing him.
Yeah, 100%. My chick, dude, my chick does not talk to men that she doesn't know. Like, she's the type that like will get in line at a grocery store and go through the woman's line because like she ain't even trying to talk to the dude to check her stuff out if she ain't got to. And like she understands that I'm like, cool, you bring me disrespect, I'm leaving. She knows that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody of her status checking for him. So she's not even worried about that competition. There's zero dread in that woman's life in regards to losing that guy. Like, I think they're broke up already. She was like, get out. It's my house. Bye.
Hey, Reckless, though, this is the thing. When it comes down to it, like I said, at some form, it was at the point where I was just like, shit, mistake number one was that, you know, this guy impregnated Kiki Shepard.
Facts.
At the end of the day, it's
Shepard
not
or Palmer.
Boy, Shepard could have got it too.
Shepard could get it too.
Better say it.
But it's just at the point where, for one, her status really is like, think about when you look at it on the balance of probabilities on if that relationship is going to work. That right there would have been birth control for me. I probably would have slept with her, but I'm telling you, no, baby, you ain't about to get this right here. Nope.
Well, JT, remember that leaked video of her giving the game some head?
Oh Lord, no. See, she
Wait a minute. I missed that one. Black Man Filter, you capping? Or are you telling the truth here?
It's a thing. That's real.
I ain't never known black man to lie like this, so I got.
No, I'm saying it in a joking manner.
Yeah. Somebody last night,
golly, man.
Somebody sent me a message and said, "Hey, bro, when y'all talk about Kiki, understand that the go online and look in the black pages and find the leaked video of her giving the game some head." So I happened to go look yesterday.
Oh my God!
Matter of fact, I found a few. I found what's the singer's name? Oh my God. The bright skinned pretty singer from London, from the UK.
Oh, that dude. I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name.
She was on there. Ooh, I mean,
look. And then you got the classic one. You have the classic one.
Oh my God!
You go down that rabbit hole. You have your girl Eve
and Stevie J.
All of those, and then you go down that rabbit hole. It's just gonna be like, damn.
Oh my God!
So she was doming up the game pretty good. It's like 13 seconds, guys.
Okay, so this is what we're dealing with.
My favorite show.
So she has a history.
Yeah, she has a history of violence, brother.
So I want to say this about her. This is what I always say about marriages and relationships. You know, how you want your marriage is how you should have your relationship, because the ring doesn't change anything. So the only ones the only women who shouldn't have to worry about that what their man thinks, whatever, is if they're F buddies. They're in it strictly for sex.
Oh my God!
But if you're serious about moving towards marriage, then you have to treat it that way. And so from the jump, you should be respectful of your man. Like I'm telling you, women who are serious about the relationships and about trying to get married as their goal, they're not moving like that. They're respectful. So the guys are not having these issues.
Big facts.
If you are having these issues, y'all need counseling because y'all not serious. Somebody's not serious.
Good point.
Get rid of her.
Good point.
Yeah, and so we found out tonight that Information Man loved that booty. And he was definitely...
Hey, let's correct that.
Stop saying it, bro.
Female booty.
All I heard was the booty.
Let's emphasize that one.
It's the way you say it, bro.
I know. I sound like that dude on that video that y'all was playing. The guy that was in prison. We can do it one or two ways. We can do it one or two ways. Yeah, but emphasizing female booty. I must emphasize that. I have a reputation, you know.
Oh my God, bro, you got me crying.
Yeah, I know. I know you ain't gonna let me live that one down. I know you gonna make a clip out of that one. I know.
An entire monologue where you say,
"Oh man, y'all got me. Oh man, y'all wrong.
Tune into Guns and Butter on Thursday. It will be on.
You're wrong, man. You're wrong. I know it.
Especially when you say it. You know, like Kiki, now she really got some booty, and I'm telling you right now, I'll be all up in that booty.
Oh man, don't make me look too bad. Don't make me look too bad. Don't make me look too bad, Black Man Unfiltered.
Oh my God,
you guys are funny. It's been crazy tonight.
So much for having the conversation tonight, man. I had a great time. Angry Snowman, put your email in the back, man. I would love to reach out to you and do more work with you, man, because I always like great people to have great conversation, man. So we'd love to have you come over here and chill with us sometimes, man. So thank you so much. Ashton is here, so I want to get him a word in before we close out tonight, and then we'll close out. Go ahead, Ashton.
Oh, everybody doing all right?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
I know we giving Kiki a little leeway because she famous, but we all black up here, right?
Yeah. What do you have to say about that booty?
Answer this for me. Finish the sentence. Wherever you show out at,
I'm gonna show out at.
That's right.
Exactly.
And that's what my mom used to tell me.
We all know why she did what she did. and I'm gonna just leave it at that. Y'all act like she make the most money, or he a Pookie. She did what she did for a reason. Let's stop playing like we don't know. Even our pain know. Our pain. What would you do if your wife? What would you do if your wife went up there on stage with the Isley brothers? I'm on your ass, boy.
Isley brothers. You always go back there.
Smokey Robinson. When you said Smokey Robinson that last time, I
that's
said,
right. You said
yeah,
last time was
Smokey
Smokey Robinson.
So Ashton, I can hear our pain. You know, they're at the concert, and Ron looks down at his wife and said, "Come here, baby."
You guys are crazy.
Our pain says, "Sit your ass down. Sit your ass down right now."
Well,
and tomorrow,
he pull out that switchblade. Pain pull out that switchblade, get the cutting Island brothers up left and right.
Hey, first of all, man, you gotta give your woman over to those dudes back in the day. Get out of here, man. Ain't no coming back.
But Pain, that's exactly what I mean. Us as black men, we know what we have to do to keep a relationship with these women, no matter if they make more than us or less than us. And the fact that she did what she did, we know why she did what she wanted to show her ass. All right. And this is another little information of who was that who liked to pull up information. I like to do my research too. Usher went up there and tried to grab damn, what's his name that played for the Wizards?
Merlot. Go ahead and tell it.
Yeah, his girl jumped straight in his lap. These women know what they doing. She just
good point. Good point.
She just wanted to exercise her options. And we all know the herpes little situation. the fact she tried it.
Mm-hmm.
So we just gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna let everybody else get on their plane and take it as high as they want it. But I'm gonna that's where it land with me.
That's what's up.
Good point. Good point, though.
Oh, and BMU, I've been looking for you. Where you been, brother?
Hey man, you know what?
Missing you on the show.
Absolutely. Normally, Trigger Mike goes on around my lunch break, so I can spend that hour with you guys. But then he moved it to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, then went to 5 o'clock. Yeah. The time is not where I could get on like I used to, man. But I miss you guys too, man. But thank you for finding me, man.
I miss you, my brother.
Make sure you like and subscribe over here, man, and hit that notification
button. I
already
subscribe to you. I'm in there like swimwear.
Absolutely, man. And I have a gift from my brother, but I'm gonna let y'all angry snowman. Do you have anything else you want to say while I'm getting this gift for information?
All right.
I was muted and I was talking.
Holy crap.
Lord.
He was going with it.
I'm happy that you don't do that on my show.
No, I just wanted to say I appreciate you letting me come up on the panel and share my opinion on the topic and everything, man. And look forward to I like your show. I've already subscribed to it. I was actually introduced to you when you had Be Brave and Think on. I missed the actual live stream, but I watched the replay of it and everything. So I subscribed then. I look forward to seeing what other kind of topics you guys discuss.
Absolutely. And before I want to introduce you guys to somebody. This is Information Man's homeboy. And he sent a video tonight and he wanted to give us some insight on a few things.
Oh Lord.
Oh, good God. There we go.
All right,
I like you, and I want you. And we can do it the easy way or the hard way. So the choice is yours, right?
The choice is yours, as if they really have a choice.
You ain't shit. You ain't shit, BMU.
He said, I like you and I want you.
And I want you.
That's what he said. I like you and I want you. And right after that, he said, I love booty.
Oh my God.
He said, I got this multi-pack of Flavor Aid. Go put this makeup on.
Wow. He said Flavor Aid. He didn't even say
You guys are mean, man.
Oh my God, bro, man! But anyway, guys, I just wanted to bring up Information Man's homeboy. He wanted to give us my message tonight about that booty. Right. So we definitely wanted to stop with and let him have a word tonight. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys tonight. I appreciate the love that you guys shared tonight with the panel. You came in hot. Ikene came in hot. Information came in with the information. Make sure you like and subscribe to his channel. Make sure you like and subscribe to Angry Snowman's channel, Lost in Translation, What We Know podcast. Make sure you subscribe to Reckless Ray if you want to get your money right. Go over there so you can take plenty of flights. And also, if you want a tutorial on a few other things, reach out to Beautifully Animated. She has a tutorial video that is amazing. You'll never be the same. Ikene, thank you for rolling around in your $75,000 BMW.
Let me say something.
Oh, I have a channel as well, though, but my channel is for business.
Okay. Oh my God. Wait a minute.
Oh shit!
So Beautifully Animated just showed you guys one of those. She does a class, and information, man. I'm telling you right now, she needs to do a Patreon. She'd make a lot of money.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she is.
What kind of class are we talking about here?
Yeah, she has a class where there's some. She has a way of moving states and cities around through the pressure of suction. So listen, guys, thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thank you, brother. Have a good night.
I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Make sure you go with the Beautiful Animated Patreon and can't even get it out.
Oh my God.
Oh man. But I can't wait to see you guys on the guys on Friday and coming back on Tuesday. We'll have something good to talk about. I'm gonna reach out to each and every person on this panel because man, we had a ball tonight. I appreciate it. And to Mr. Bennett, who has to take his daughter to the airport in a few hours, be safe. We're praying that your daughter is safe on her flight to wherever she's going. And to everybody else's family, man, I didn't tell you guys I had another loss in the family, guys.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, today, man. So I want y'all didn't know it, and I didn't want you guys to be trying to feel sorry for me or anything. I know you love me, but at the end of the day, I want to do the show without anybody having that heavy on their heart. But I was going to tell you at the end, my uncle passed away today.
Bro.
Yeah. So and then when it rains, it pours because we just buried my aunt 4 weeks ago.
Oh, Lord.
It always comes in threes, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're just, keep me lifted, man. And thank you guys for the laughter tonight. Thank you, information for the everybody on the panel. Thank you for your laughter. I needed it. And when I'm traveling to Louisiana, I'm going to be thinking about it and listening to it on the way there to keep myself up and going. So you guys helped me tonight. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. I really do. Until Friday, guys, Angry Snowman, if you want to come back on Friday, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, we have Barbershop Talk, man, and the fellas, we gets it in, brother. We gets it in. So make sure
you mean you invite me to the barbershop?
The barbershop. The barbershop is the standardized test. So if you pass that, we get you over to the cookout, okay?
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, man. Much love to y'all, man. Thank y'all so much for coming on. I'll see y'all. I will definitely see y'all on Friday. And make sure y'all watch the shows tomorrow. Sports show at 7. Make sure after that sports show is 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. You have Unapologetic with Mandrell and Shushu, which are brother and sister, and they're going to be talking about is the Holy Ghost just a ghost story? And then you have Dr. Nkumbe and Coach K on Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, talking about breaking the cycle in the action of the brain by breaking down the 4Ds. So make sure you guys tune into that. Then on Friday, I'll be back with Barbershop Talk. So thank you guys so much. I love you. Peace.
Go. Fire by night and a pillar of vapor by day. Walk through the desert, but when you admire the light, see the villains are paper mache. I'm on the way to the promised land, no contraband. I'm an honest man, I'm coming. Have y'all met me? I'm set free, playing my part like the Red Sea. Man, I'm from heaven, I'm here with my brethren. The volume's 11, now we're getting rowdy. Swing from the scaffolding, spiritual happenings, miracles are all around me. This ain't no balcony, I'm in the front row. My spit is proud of me, they got the gusto. I'm good if you